beats the guy.
Anyways, shall we begin? We are here. Oh, fuck, what are you doing, lol?
My cat is beating around my tools.
Get a grip on your pussy, mate.
Show your pussy who's boss, okay? You are the man of the household, and you're not gonna take your fucking abuse from this pussy anymore, okay?
Be a man, lol. Be a man. Okay.
Lol isn't a man.
I'd say speak for yourself, but you are. Anyways, we should get started with the reading.
Yes.
As usual, Broken Fangs, this fucking garbage that I don't want to read, but I have to. We are on chapter 19. It's by Cyanide Sins, the same one that we have always been reading from, because why would I find anything that isn't garbage in this godforsaken planet?
Because we're completionists, and once we start something, we have to finish it. Unfortunately, this is longer than the fucking Bible, literally. So.
Anyways, start with this, chapter 19, the summary. Raven comes for a call. Juniper's the one to fall. Blake's resistant and proud, and Auburn Ark's coming around. You're bad at rhyming.
Congratulations, you actually managed to successfully rhyme something for once. Good job, Cyanide. Everybody give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
No, my sword says no.
No.
Clap. 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 You get the fucking half-assed golf claps.
Get the GLaDOS clap.
Okay. Nobody expects Raven than evermore! Nobody! We begin. Jean stared at the woman, aware that he was within striking distance of her. He didn't notice a weapon near her, but that was secondary to the fact that she was giving him a death glare. Her facial features so similar to Yang's that it would be impossible to believe that they weren't related. Raven the Nevermore had never been spotted. Hold up. We gotta do a hold up right here immediately. He outright says, oh yeah, Yang resembles her, or rather she resembles Yang. How is this never clicked before?
Because this is the first time you've seen her.
But she's wanted. He's seen wanted posters all over the place. That was stated last chapter, so he knows what she looks like. He knows.
Wasn't it only stated the wanted posters just had her in her mask and like everything else was like hidden?
No.
Also, 18,000 words in this chapter. Eyes is used 144 times. Where's look? There's a look in here somewhere.
We can do that later. Let's just keep going here. Raven the Nevermore had never been spotted without her mask, and official statistics did not account for her presence at all. Crow Brownwood had been established to have some form of contact with the woman in a matter of sorts, and that had been a few duels that had ended with a stalemate, unable to have a victor. Summer Rose had been facing a death match with the Nevermore of Anima often, summing in those eyes merciless as they beheld him.
See, Lal, he answered, or fucking Kitty, Cyanide answered your thingy. See, she's never been spotted without her mask. Oh,
that's fucking retarded.
They should have specified that before.
That's so fucking retarded without... Knowing the rest of the lore around this, that they were in a team, that's fucking retarded. It's so fucking retarded.
Yeah, fucking, like, Crow's like, you're my sister? Huh, I always thought you were this weird bitch who just wore a fucking mask all the time.
So, you're Summer's new toy. A woman's voice. I'm sorry, I had to laugh at my own voice.
Are we really going there? Are you really going to do this voice for her?
Yes! A woman's voice, one that was slightly lower than
one of these days, that thing is gonna give you a fucking aneurysm, and I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
He responded automatically, growing
Imagine a woman with a sword goes up in the middle of the night after you just combed your fucking brains out and
to her
says,
daughter.
oh, so you're the new toy, and then he gets another hard on.
Oh my god! Okay, so this random bitch shows up in your bathroom in the middle of the night with a sword. You see her. You just spent the entire night fucking her daughter. And your immediate reaction is, oh my god, I'm horny.
So, also, her and her sword are both covered in blood, so, yeah.
Yeah, so she apparently murdered some people on the way over here.
She was I like to put this into perspective. In the middle of the night,
Oh god.
she was busy killing people. So busy, in fact, she didn't consider going over to a corner store, buying some fucking a water bottle or something. Nah, she just kept the blood of that sword.
Didn't think about buying a hanky. Also, how fucking dull is her sword if it's still coated in blood? Jesus.
I mean, to be fair, blood doesn't cause the swords to rust very, you have to leave it sit there for a long period of time.
That's not the point. The point is that her blade would have to be dull for it not to... Rather, not dull, but have a rough surface for it to actually remain on the blade.
Blood's sticky. It probably would eventually. If she, stabbed somebody and just didn't fucking wipe it off immediately, it would stick to there.
It would still flow. Anyways.
Also, my face right now be like this. My face right now.
Okay, let me just fucking continue. He responded automatically, growing harder than before. The woman's gaze going down to his manhood, and an actual smile curled her lips as she pulled out his scroll. Oh my god! He noticed that it was his own, which had been laid on the table next to the bed. Fear ran through him. To obtain that scroll, she would have been in close proximity to the bed. Had she done anything to Yang, anything to his sister? Fear made him shiver as a gauntleted hand gripped his dick. Cold iron and a mesh that had been suitable for gripping steel gripped on
Oof.
on Toof on Toof his manhood. As she
Excuse me?
I'm not kidding, on Toof gripped on Toof his manhood. As she came closer to him, even without a weapon, the woman oozed
Holding a
deadly
sword.
efficiency.
What do you mean without a weapon? She's holding a sword.
She put her sword away between the chapters, okay?
Ugh.
Now she's armed with his penis.
Deadly weapon.
Behold, Excalibur!
Also, why do gauntlets have fucking steel mesh for palms rather than leather?
Some of
Rubber.
them did
Considering
have-
we're
yeah,
not
some
living
of-
in a fucking medieval society. I don't know.
Some of the gauntlets did actually have leather, but they also had chainmail for them, because it was allowed you to actually grip the sword for half swording.
Captain,
No.
people just use their fucking hand for half sorting.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they also had people. They also had people who did have the gauntlets that had chain mesh.
that would
'Cause it
dull
was
the
kind of-
shit out of your sword. That's stupid, Cap.
Well,
That is
it
unbelievably
At
stupid.
that point, the fucking edge doesn't matter, isn't it?
Yeah, if you're at that point, the edge doesn't matter. You should be just slamming them with your pommel.
That's what people usually use for the gloves.
The
is
murder
if
scroll?
you're,
Yeah.
yeah, that's about the only point where you commonly have people wear gloves for that kind of stuff. If you're half sorting, you do that with your bare fucking hands. It's just directing your sword.
Yeah.
You don't need gloves for that. You need gloves if you're gonna use it like a fucking hammer.
Okay, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll find more shit to make fun of. It's fine.
She looked into his eyes, nearly nose to nose, fingers gripping hold of it. God damn it, Furnace!
Is that a furnace or a Roomba?
It's a furnace.
Okay.
It's cold outside. But I don't know why it has to go off every half hour.
It's cold outside.
Fingers gripping a hold of his manhood and giving it a slow tug. Why is she jerking him off now? Those eyes just stared inhumanly cool, yet they were much like Yang's, he found. The look in those eyes was something that he could understand. The woman's gaze holding a pride and a calm within them that only the best of the best had. The bounty on the woman's head.
Excuse me?
It's stupid, pedantic bullshit. That's
She
not
has to
pedantic.
calm only in a professional has. What is this, fucking Halo?
Do-do-do-do.
Is Master Chief just gonna knock through the wall?
Nah, John is gonna nut inside of Master Chief.
Oh,
No. Give me that fucking image.
I will continue. With the bounty on the woman's head, he could buy himself a home within the heart of Vale, where the prizes for land went into the millions.
Prices. And even then, that's a shitty. You don't say prices. You just say price for land.
Also, that motherfucker got it wrong. Because I remember chain gauntlets, but the fucking leather is on the inside, but the chain's on the outside.
Yes.
So he's fucking mentioning mesh, and I'm thinking of like...
Yes, that was my complaint.
The mesh on the inside?
That was his complaint.
That was my complaint, Cap.
Because I never had fucking chain gauntlets when I was doing HEMA. We always had fucking plate.
Anyway. Cyanide doesn't know how equipment works. Surprise, surprise.
Did you do it consciously, boy? The murderous faunus bandit queen spoke, her voice a rich sound in the bathroom, his eyes looking into those fierce crimson ones. He was supposed to respond, but something in those eyes tugged at him, the murderous urge softening
You
within
mean that
those...
she's stalking him?
The murderous urge softening within those eyes as she let go of his manhood, the arm shifting around him, and he felt himself pulled against her, the woman holding the scroll away. Unlock it!
Lock your smartphone.
Give me the passcode to your iPhone, boy!
Are we in a modern society or a medieval society? Fuck you.
The answer is yes.
Don't live in a society.
We live in a society.
Fuck!
Uh,
The command was given and he had no option to disobey. Yes, he did. She could snap him in half if she wanted. He was naked, and she was a murder machine who had terrorized the world for nearly a decade and a half.
no.
Well then.
He used the word murder machine unironically. Oh, fuck.
Murder machine.
And he's a coward, man. Come on, you can fight naked. It actually makes your opponent uncomfortable.
What if he just started, like, dueling her with his cock or something?
Oh god.
His iron rod of justice.
His cock was so hard, so erect, he could fucking, like, fence
He could
the
parry her blade. Diamond Dick John.
He discovered his semblance. He could make his dick hard as diamond.
He could give himself a diamond heart erection. Oh god, that would be fucking terrifying.
It's Long Dick Johnson.
Long Dick Johnson. He had a really long dick, hence the name.
Hence the name.
She went to the camera, opening it up. His face was showing a terrified expression as the woman's grin increased, snapping a picture and sliding it to the mailing app. Punching a number he didn't recognize, he dragged the small photo into the email slot and then tapped onto the subject header. Got something of yours, Summer. Oh, God.
Oh no.
Oh, God. Is this just Raven pulling a prank on Summer?
Yes.
Oh my fucking god. It was odd for some reason that when he saw her hit the send button, he could feel a flash of something else than worry. She looked a little... Oh god, I skipped a line by accident. I was so confused. She looked a little confused for a moment, her head shaking softly at something. Raven feathers dropped to the ground, the softness of her hair surprising him, the smell of blood and death mixing with something that was so familiar. As she moved from him, her demeanor changed to frosty once more, fixing him with a look that meant business. It was the look of someone who was at the apex, who made his family meet for the taking, someone who had infiltrated Vale without even a hint to it. Are you gonna kill me now? He asked in a small voice, the woman looking at him for a moment, blinking once, as if she was surprised by the question. Killing him here and now would hurt the family and probably end whatever power they had. It would be a blow against the kingdom, against the world. Her bounty would be upped at least 2 times with the family fortune as it was. Kill you? She repeated, seemingly unsure whether she'd heard him right. She was a murderous faunus, uncalled, a savage creature that had turned her back on humanity. Why would she care about humanity?
Care about humanity.
She did not
Nobody
respond
cares
for
about
another
humanity.
moment, her head turning sideways, like a bird-like manner that must be related to the feathers that seemed to be her faunus trait. There was a doubt.
Turn their head sideways? What fucking... What?
What maniacs.
You know that dogs do that too, and cats, and most animals.
And people.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you mean tilting your head, not turning your head sideways.
She just rotates her head around.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying her head. You would say her head tilted, like much like a confused dog or whatever. Not she turned her head sideways.
Oh Christ.
Yep, she's not a crow fauna. She's an owl. Yes.
She's an owl.
She's just gonna turn her head 180 degrees.
Remember, when going up against anthropomorphic owls, you can't break their necks.
There was a doubtful look in her eyes before she seemed to come to a conclusion. No, I do not intend to kill you. The woman's eyes looked straight into his own, something dark within their depths, twisting and wringing, something that was beholden to something and no one, something that burned and writhed, and he felt something slide against his back like cold
Sentence.
as she pulled him close and then full-on kissed him on the lips. What?
What was that sentence? I'm so confused.
I'll read it because fucking Kitty tried to read it in one go and killed himself.
No, Courier, don't. Because it repeats the same statement 3 times.
What?
Something that I was gonna say. Woman's eyes look straight into his
No,
own.
no, we don't have to. It's a bad sentence. We don't need to reread it. We don't need to...
confused, Kitty. We have
As
to
he
explain
should
it.
be! Her tongue invaded his mouth and he was stunned. The smell of blood and death that was this... And that same indistinct quality that Yang had as well in his nostrils. A shiver going through his whole body at the sudden pleasure that shot through him. Yang's taste being like a warmth and flame, whilst this woman's taste was being like blood and death and danger. What? She pulled away to breathe, gasping a little. You could breathe through your nose, whore! Her eyes looking much softer, a hand brushing through her hair. It wasn't an unpleasant touch, but this was still the slayer of thousands. The woman's eyes looked into his own for the longest of moments, tender and soft, as if she was seeing someone else rather than him.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry, Tyler. Eyes froze over as she seemed to come back to herself, and the anger and rage showed on her face as she hit him straight in the gut, though movement faster than he could track. He bent over as the air departed his lungs with a sound. As his head was lifted by his hair, the woman's cold expression showing his fate, her eyes gazing into his own for the longest of moments.
Did you have a stroke or did the story have a stroke?
The story had a stroke. That was entirely intentional. You live because Summer accepted you. God my... She paused, taking a deep breath. Got your blonde fun as well, Ark. She loves you. There was a look in her eyes, something dark and wicked, as... something dark and wicked, a killer's gaze that did not seem to shift from him. The words were simple, but she felt them rock him like he was a boat in a hurricane. The woman's hand grabbing the doorknob and opening the bathroom door, pushing him towards the bedroom once more.
Fuck right off.
Look, I know they say the eyes are the window to the soul, but you have so many other body parts you could focus on.
Like the pussy.
Nostrils, the ears, the pussy, the fucking hands, the arms, the tits, the curves, the hips, the hair.
The pussy.
The tibia, the femur. There's so much shit you can focus on other than the fucking eyes. Pick something.
I want to focus on a kidney.
Look,
On her fucking kid. If I would be less annoyed if he trying to focus on her fucking kidneys, because at least it would be something different.
Curry, we don't want him to focus on something else, because then he'll focus on their pussy, and their pussy will go poggers.
I hate everything.
The fact that you even made a rock you like a hurricane reference. Oh, kill yourself.
No, they actually didn't. But he felt them rock him like he was a boat in a hurricane.
So,
Rock you like a hurricane!
I don't fucking know. Kill me.
No matter how you phrase
Here
it, that's
I am.
like a hurricane reference.
Rock it like a hurricane.
Fight with your cock like a hurricane.
Excuse me.
Penis jousting.
A penis jousting.
Christ almighty.
We're going.
Oh, what is this fanfic doing to us?
I don't know.
It's making us terrible people.
More terrible people.
You were already terrible, so it's hard to make things worse than they already are when they've already hit rock bottom.
Now we'll just grab a shovel.
Are you her?
What are we? We Disney now? Come on.
Yes.
Shut up and let me read. Are you her? Mother? He had to ask before she'd go away again if Yang had a mother. The woman's face turned dark before she gave a short shake of the head. For some strange reason, he knew that she was lying, because it was not something that she could deny. Their facial shape was too similar for that. No, I'm not much of a mother at all. I didn't even... She didn't continue, moving on to the bathroom. Into the bedroom. A Nevermore themed mask pushed into place, working perfectly with the feathers that peered through her hair. He felt a shiver go through him as she turned her head, her eyes glowing behind the mask's shadows. You notice that in profile, aside from her stature, she shared many things with her daughter. The same type of hair, a similar build, though Yang looked more muscular in the upper body. Though he did not know whether it was a correct assumption.
No, that's not because they're similar. It's not because they are by family blood. It's because they keep using the same models.
Her breasts a little smaller, but Yang had a rather sizable chest.
Excuse me?
Well, are you even paying attention right now?
I am. I'm listening to it. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What?
He's checking out the mother of the girl that he just fucked.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm confused by.
Have some class, bro. You're supposed to be noble.
I'm sorry that you think this is completely alright, Courier.
No, his level of nobility is the aristocrat's joke.
I'm sorry, excuse me, what did you say, Lal?
I'm sorry that you think this is just completely normal and fine.
When did I ever say that, you insane son of a bitch?
Oh, lol, are you even paying attention? Yes! I'm paying attention, that's why I'm fucking confused at his lack of class.
I know, that's why I'm saying, are you paying attention? Like, are you fucking paying attention to how fucking stupid this is?
Yes!
Not are you paying attention to how well written and fucking beautiful this writing is? Oh, wow, it's so great.
Oh, it is. It's truly beautiful. Beautifully terrible.
Are we done?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
We're so far from the end.
Yes, we'd be a lot closer if We just stopped having these tangents. He watched her walk to the chair He watched her walk to the chair that had fallen over, reaching for something. A long blade pulled out, a low groan coming from someone. He felt more fear wrap around his heart as he saw the woman push it into the sheath again, the woman looking at him. Consider this a kindness, husband-to-be of Lady Summerrath.
I have no clue, so don't worry.
The woman's blade slashed into the air, a portal appearing there, shimmering and bubbling with the power that the woman had inside her. A semblance, he guessed. No! She stepped through, looking at him before she'd gone fully through the portal, the mask giving her an unwholesome look. No! Look, guys, she isn't wholesome. She's not based in trad build. Better make sure that your sister is alright. Oh no, Juniper.
Oh, that's right, she stabbed someone.
He ran, noticing Yang in the bed, her head having a bleeding wound staining the pillow. Juniper was whimpering, a lot of blood visible from her. Her eyes were pained, even with the portal or whatever it was. Her eyes were pained, even with the portal or whatever it was closing.
That's where you use another comma, even or whatever it was closing. You gotta put a fucking
See, that's where you use a period, actually, and start a new sentence where you say, behind them, the portal was closing.
The portal or whatever.
Exactly. Are you okay, Sean? Her first question wasn't one that he expected, but he looked at the wound. It was right in her abdomen. The look on her face, something that held the worry. The worry. The singular worry. The only worry.
Can you have babies, Juniper? Tell me, Juniper, can you have babies?
Do you feel a pain in your ovaries, Juniper? I must know.
Why are you asking
quickly,
now?
Juniper starts
Don't
shoving.
Don't worry, it becomes a plot point later in chapter 58. She didn't do anything to you, did she? Are you okay?
She must be in a panic for his health. I'm fine. We need to get you to a doctor. Something to... Her eyes looked at him, her fingers gripping his arm painfully. I'm going to need a lot of... She tried to get up, but seemed unable to do that. His older sister's eyes were terrified as she looked up at him, worried and fearful. Again, restating the same word, but using different words, or restating the same thing using different words doesn't make you clever or good at writing. It just pads out your word count.
I'm also surprised I'm also surprised too that her first thoughts are, "Oh, are you all right, John?" rather than herself after just being filleted like a fucking fish.
Is your penis still working? I need to know, brother.
Yeah, that's logically the first thing that you'd be concerned about after getting filleted like a fucking fish.
I was gonna say there is a lot of situations or circumstances where somebody who's like horribly injured, fucking is worrying more about the other person than they are themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Blake worrying more about Yang than herself.
When does that happen?
I was thinking, since we watched Saving Private Ryan last night, I was thinking more in wartime or whatever, when somebody's like, I'm not that badly injured, take care of my guys or take care of my friend first, that type of stuff. But yeah,
Yeah, don't associate Saving Private Ryan with this again, or I'll fucking find out where you live and beat the shit out of you.
That's why I took something that we already hate. Fuck's that? Oh,
You never sully Saving Private Ryan. That shit's fucking... That's greatness.
He didn't like seeing her like this, so weak. You're weak. Once I understood the weakness of flesh.
It disgusted
He didn't
me.
like seeing her like this, as she lays there, fucking guts spilling out of her abdomen.
I think
Are
you're
you
missing...
okay? Not really, but I'm fine.
Why did they make him such a fucking sociopath?
She wasn't gutted, Cap. She was stabbed.
I mean, have you seen how big her fucking sword is?
Yeah, it's a couple inches thick. Or inches wide, rather.
Yeah, that fucking went into some organs.
Yeah, but it's an abdominal wound. It's not immediately fatal.
Oh, that's what at least it's fine.
Well, it's not as fucking lethal as if you got your disemboweled, which is what Cap is acting like it is.
Oh, fair enough.
Get her. I'm not gonna continue the voice. Get her, John. No matter what, just get her, and we can make sure this is just like a bad nightmare. It'll be okay. I'll be okay. I've got Aura, and you don't have to worry. Juniper sounded terrified as she tried to get up. Her arms seemed to lift her up, but her lower body was still bleeding, pain visible from in her features as red soaked the chair that she'd been impaled against by the blade of the Nevermore. Ugh. He didn't waste any time, jerking open the door and going for the room that belonged to his older sister, knocking on it. Come on, Argent. Come on. Open up. Open up. A low groaning sound came from behind the door, and he saw it open up, the smell of smoke and something intoxicatingly sweet coming from the room. It's late, Jean. What do you want? He grabbed a hold of her arm and started to drag her. Juniper's been stabbed by... Ah, whatever. Just come with me and make sure that she's all right. There was no time to explain, no time to worry about anything else. Argent looked sleepy and drowsy, but Juniper had said that she should be fetched, so he would. He was still naked and there was blood on his skin, but he wasn't going to let Juniper be hurt. She already was, you fucking retard.
Just imagine how fucking funny it would be if, like, fucking Argent seen that and was immediately just fucking jumped to conclusions that, oh shit, it was the bitch, and just fucking kills her right there.
Argent noticed the state Juniper was in immediately when she entered the room, hissing a few words that Mother wouldn't like, getting her way over to her younger sister. Get the brown bag next to the bed, Jean. It's still open and there's 7 vials of quick painkiller in it. Carry it gently, because that stuff ruptures, you'll knock us all out. What?
That's how painkiller works, right?
There was no time for that, he guessed, as he ran back to Argent's room, his voice brushing? Who? Auburn's door opened up, and his older sister looked at him. She wore her dark brown nightgown, just looking at him. She didn't answer...
Answer what?
She didn't answer as he entered Argent's room, the workshop set up in one side of the room, probably with the stuff that he couldn't really identify. Notes were pinned to the wall, formula that he could barely read. Something that he did notice was half the formula for the extermination chamber.
She's getting the Zyklon B, right, ladies and gentlemen?
God, she's making Zyklon B. Oh, Christ, on a bike. That's just too funny.
Why do I imagine every character in this wearing fucking various shades of SS uniforms?
Because that makes them just so fucking hot.
Alright, kitty, calm down.
What he did notice was half the formula for the extermination chamber's gas had been scrawled out with a lethality marked below in Argent's own barely legible script.
Lethality? Really?
It was not something that he would immediately notice if he'd been here previously, but from the vision, he remembered the formula. He grabbed the bag, carrying it towards his bedroom, watching as Auburn came closer. His sister's eyes were unfocused, a smile on her lips. Is Junie going to die? The question was spoken innocently, but he knew that his older sister did not fully understand the world. She'd always been weird, but he hoped that she's gonna be fine. He hoped it. She was still able to speak, so it was going to be fine. It had to be fine, because otherwise her ovaries would be dust.
Is that actually in the fucking
Kill them.
No.
Kill them all.
I've had bad dreams. She's not dying, is she? Is she turning into a little angel yet? Did they shoot her again? He tried to put a smile on his face. He failed, knowing that his sister had to be handled delicately. Auburn could have a horrible state sometimes, and he didn't want to make it worse. She'll be fine. She's with Argent now. She'll make sure that she's fine. A smile, looking more positive than he'd seen it. Auburn didn't change much in her expressions until the end, where she looked sad. He had to get to Argent. He had to make sure that Juniper was alright. She owes me... She owes me money. She better be fine. Sleep well, Jean. She'll be alive. No, wait. She'll be dead. Will she be dead? She owes me money.
She owes me money, John.
Where's my damn money?
Also, Lau, we're not joking. That's an actual line.
Oh, I know. It's just insane enough to be
Auburn literally says she owes me money.
Where's my fucking money? Punches the corpse.
Where's the fucking money?
She was questioning that, and he passed her by. Her hand brushed over his back, a shiver making its way down his spine, and he felt a chill go through him. He entered his bedroom again to find Juniper laid out on the ground, her body bare, the top having been fashioned into a cruel bandage to stem the bleeding a little, the gut wound looking serious as Argent pulled the bag out of his hands. It burns, RG. Why does it burn? Are you feeling the burn yet?
Are you feeling the burns, Mr. Krabs?
Are you feeling it, Mr. Krabs? Are you feeling it? His older sister plucked out a few syringes, starting to fill them up with something from the bottles that she had on the side. Her methodical manner of filling them undoubtedly a result from her work as a chemist of the family. It's a common reaction, Juniper. Don't worry. It's going to be okay. Jean, get dressed with a set of pants and go to Mother's bedroom. Mother needs to be alerted to the fact that someone attacked Juniper. He got dressed quickly. Yang looked fragile on the bed, still unconscious, but his sister was more important than his fondness. He saw Auburn standing at the door, looking in on Argent, getting busy with preparing Juniper with whatever medical expertise she had. Auburn's eyes were still unfocused, but there was something in them that made him feel the pressure. The pressure! He walked, because running would just wake every... Why do you care if you're waking people up?
Do you care?
Yeah, why does he care when his sister's fucking dying?
My lord. Give me a second.
Can you imagine if after John F. Kennedy got shot and his brains were splattered all over a fucking car, instead of the car taking off for the hospital, he just like casually just drove to the hospital going like 10 miles per hour?
Careful now, we're in a school zone. We don't want to go over 30. Oh, Christ.
We're in a school zone.
But she'd been concerned.
Jesus
He was
fucking Christ,
concerned
Kitty, are you
too.
fucking okay?
No, I have phlegm in my throat.
Oh my god, fucking clear it. God damn it.
Why do you think I keep
Go drink
pausing
some
to cough?
Drink some water, dude.
I have been! That made sense as he
Drink
knocked on
more.
the... Shut the fuck up! That made sense as he knocked on the door. It took a moment for his mother to get to the door, her features tired looking. No, you don't say.
Really? In the middle of the night? What shock.
Jean, it's really late. Couldn't this have waited? He didn't hesitate, trying to clear his throat to get it all out. Juniper's been attacked. They came for me, but Juniper was stabbed. His mother's face turned paler by the second as she rushed past him, her body in motion. He watched his mother
Her
run.
body in motion. Wow, thank you.
He watched his mother run, a string of words that was definitely not appropriate for polite company coming from her mouth. Just say them! Write them down!
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Doesn't his mom also like refer to her like a pussy and shit like that when she was like interrogating Blake and fucking things? She's not averse to swearing.
Yeah.
Again, what is with the... She's fucking... She has a gut wound, right? So why is the writing so fucking...
Placid.
polite?
Why
and
is the writing
placid?
so fucking placid, polite, and pussified, honestly?
Why does it not seem... Why does it seem like Ray only wants to care about the fact that she's been stabbed?
Because we are the only ones who care. That's the radical conclusion I can come to. The only people who actually fucking care are the readers.
Because these characters don't seem to give a shit. Or at least the writer doesn't think that he should.
He hadn't seen his mother move this fast before. Like she'd been trying to do the veil run. The door to his room ripped open. Okay, she literally just fucking rips it off its hinges. Okay. And his mother entering.
That's actually something.
Why wouldn't he just leave his door open then? That's stupid.
It's stupid, but at least that's some, language that fits the situation.
And his mother entering. He noticed that Juniper was mumbling something, looking more comfortable as Dargent was busy sewing her shut. Auburn standing at the side looking down at Juniper's body. Juniper's hurt, Mommy. She didn't die now. Argent is taking care of her. He could see his mother's pale face as she knelt next to her daughter. Auburn sitting down on the bed next to Yang, brushing over his Faunus's head. She's a good animal, not like the cat. His sister's words were soft as Auburn's fingers brushed over Yang's brow where a bruise was starting to form. Don't hurt her, Auburn. His older sister shook her head, giving a soft smile at him. She's a nice Faunus. I like her better than the Faunus Queen. Junie is gonna be okay, I think. Maybe? Father doesn't like it when I tell him things. He doesn't like my playing. Jean didn't like his sister's playing either. Yang slowly stirred to attention, her eyes frightened as she got up. They were still a little dull, but there was worry in them. It was almost as if she was human, the concern in them there as she searched for him.
That's the fourth attempt at making her sound like an animal that I've ever heard. Like, it's not how racists think.
It's not how anyone thinks.
That too.
Yeah,
Also, Kitty, clear your throat, drink some water, give it a rest for a couple minutes, because if you're going to be clearing your throat after every other sentence, we're going to be here forever.
Carrier, you read.
9! I will continue!
You will clear your throat or you will shut the fuck up.
9! Master, sir. He could see the awareness in her eyes, the relief. She was an animal, but she was relieved. Then he was fine. Pets could be happy like that, he supposed. Oh, Christ. Okay. Animals are generally capable of empathy, you fucking psychopath. You're okay. You're fine. She was... Wait, that's her. You okay? You're fine. She was relieved that he was fine. Juniper was stabbed. She said that it was a mercy, but... Auburn made a loud humming sound and started to give a sing-song little rhyme. Right in the tummy, yummy, yummy pain. She'll be paralyzed for life. Never a bride, never a wife.
Oh, this is so inappropriate.
It's so fucking inappropriate. Why have the character here? He felt a shock.
You get it? The serious scene is being interrupted. It's being juxtaposed with this innocent, childlike character who's also complicated because they're innocent and childlike, and yet they're also dark and they're angst and they're... I don't fucking know.
That's the implication I'm getting, is that she's just mentally retarded.
No, she's insane. That's the implication I'm getting. But even then, why are you having an insane character in this scene? It can be better fitted elsewhere. He felt a shock go through him as he heard Auburn Juniper mumbling something about pretty little sparks in the ceiling. Yeah, that happens when you get exerted. The silence stretching for a moment as Argent continued with her work. That's a pain shock. When they come for us, there'll be 3, then 6, guaranteed to kill and not play tricks. I must die because the darkness does not need to know why. When Johnny does die, we're all gonna cry. That was so fucking poorly written as a rhyme. It didn't rhyme. It did not rhyme. He didn't know how to feel about that, but his mother went pale.
He didn't know how to feel about that song.
Huh, my sister's saying I'm gonna fucking die. I don't know how to feel. Auburn, stop. We don't need to listen to your ravings. Please, Auburn. His older sister merely watched his mother for a moment before she turned to Yang again and smiled. Okay, okay, Mommy. I won't finish the rest. We'll all be dead anyways. He could see the unnerved look on his mother's face. Argent still working. Argent's hands were busy putting another needle into Juniper, trying to stabilize her. You don't just jab needles into people to stabilize them.
Yes, you just fill them with stim packs.
I think he was saying he was fucking trying to sew her wound shut, which, no, that's not what you do. If somebody gets a horrendous gut injury or whatever, the first thing you do is not move the person and then get a needle and a sewing kit and try to stitch the fucking wound up, you dumb motherfucker.
I mean, it's a good way to kill them.
Yeah. You do that after you've gotten the bleeding under control. You think I was gonna say there's some fucking internal bleeding. You think you're gonna stop internal bleeding by sewing the skin shut? Jesus,
fucking cauterize it.
Stop. Yeah, stop the bleeding, cauterize it, and then you sew it.
Disinfect it, then sew it shut. Yeah.
Yep.
That's like the last thing you do.
This is literally the end point to dealing with the wound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they're killing her.
Well, that's why she'll be infertile.
She's just gonna bleed internally and die. Yeah.
Yep.
If it's what they want, it's what they want.
Unless she's saying that Argent is sewing her capillaries, her fucking arteries back together, which, no.
Maybe her semblance is stitching people back together.
Mother, it'd be wise to get Ash and that big fellow to carry her out. We can claim it was an accident during training, a ricochet. The blade went in remarkably clean, but I don't have the stuff here to try and fix her up, and Helena is... Argent asked, but his mother shook her head. No, we don't wake her up. She needs her rest. His mother was firm, and he hoped that Helena was all right. She'd always been sleepy, but it was only natural, he supposed, with her line of employment. Everything's going to be fine, Juniper. We're going to make sure that you're better. It was hope inside him that swelled as his mother, Azalea, stormed out of the room, undoubtedly to get the fairness requested by Argent. He could see the look on Argent's face turn darker as she turned at her younger sister. Is it going to be... Wait. Is it going to be fine, or are you just giving her hope? He asked. Argent had some medical expertise despite being a chemist, but there was definite... Yeah! Some medical expertise, eh? Eh? You just go immediately to stitch somebody up, eh?
Yeah, remember in Treasure Planet when the dude said, "You're a doctor?" Yeah, not that kind of fucking doctor.
There was a definite genius in her ability to work with narcotics and anesthetic.
I mean, clearly, that's all you need is the fucking anesthesiologist. Just fucking put him in there, have him do the surgery. Fuck it, doesn't matter.
Again, if they want her dead, just use the gun. If they want her fucking dead.
She does narcotics and shit. Which does Zyklon B fall under? Which one of those two?
It's a poison. It's hydrogen cyanide.
Well, all narcotics are poisonous after a certain concentration. So basically, they're the same thing. And
everything makes sense now.
Technically, you can't feel pain if you're dead. Therefore, they're all anesthetics too.
Death is just a long-term anesthetic.
I'm not a skilled person with anatomy, but I know enough to know that she should be able to remain alive. There's not much in that area that can really be considered lethal.
Okay, let's see. There's the fucking liver. There is all the arteries, several major arteries. There's the large intestine, which if it's perforated can leak sewage throughout the bowels and kill you by infection. There's the spine.
We don't need an anatomy lesson, okay?
Aw.
This is already going to take long enough.
That is entirely lethal there.
Fuck's sake.
You don't understand this.
He felt worry go through him at those words, looking at Juniper laying there, so very still, Auburn giving a soft giggle. Just like in the dream, the Nevermore came because it was challenged and took her legs. Yes, yes! But it didn't hit her spine. If it hit her spine, they'd all know.
She said her abdomen, the spine, somewhere in there. It doesn't fucking matter.
Normally you would say, oh yeah, it hit her in the fucking spine. That way it immediately raises the stakes of, oh shit.
No, it hit her abdomen and then Raven twisted it so it also hit her spine. That way you have double the tension.
Christ on a bike. Argent's face turned pale and looked at him with a hint of fear in his own blue eyes. His sister's nose starting to turn a pale white color due to fear. The Nevermore was here. You've met the Nevermore? Never! Anymore, at least.
Fuck
Oh, this is why a shithead like me can't exist in stories like this. I would actually make it funny.
Wrong time, wrong place.
Exactly. It'd be such a fucking juxtaposition. He gave a soft nod. He had met the woman that had held the title of Nevermore Raven. He had met her and knew that what she looked like. For some reason, he figured that he was one of the few, and she'd even kissed him. She ambushed me in the bathroom. I was just there to piss, and suddenly she was behind me, grabbing my neck, and then No. She grabbed your dick and then took a picture. Grabbing my dick and then taking a picture, and he remembered that his scroll was still in the bathroom. Raven the Nevermore had taken a picture, and he got up to get his scroll. He returned after a moment, Argent looking up at him. Juniper was murmuring something about really wanting to kiss that cute boy on the lips, but Mom had said it wasn't okay. Oh shit.
Excuse me? What's your revelation, Kitty?
She's talking about wanting to kiss John, probably. Knowing this fucking story.
They all want to fuck him, it's fine.
Oh yeah, we knew that a long time ago.
So gross.
Oh shit.
He opened the gallery, opening the picture. Opening the picture. face of the Nevermore stared back at him, her expression taunting and challenging. I think she just sent a challenge to Lady Rose. Auburn giggled a little. She knows it would make her come back! She wants her to come back because she wants to fight! The look in his older sister's eyes was unfocused and crude, her eyes looking at the scroll picture for a moment. Argent wasn't looking at him, keeping her attention on Juniper. Junie will be fine. She just needs to get her chair and be with us. He hoped that would be the case. Juniper was still his sister. Okay, now you can read.
Yeah, of course, and you make me read Blake's shit. I hate you. Okay.
You get what you fucking deserve.
Just clear your throat, clear your head, Courier.
Oh my god, fucking kill me!
We can do that later.
Okay. The door was kicked open with force and Blake snapped to attention, the monotonous droning voice in the back of her mind in the process of speaking of the politest way to address someone of higher standing, the buzzing growing ever shorter as the crocodile faunus gave a start, her voice shutting up immediately as the matriarch of the master's family entered. Fetch the ram, faunus! Juniper has been assaulted! She could see the crocodile shift immediately, a predator's gaze in the eyes as the faunus bowed once, a polite bow, as the woman had demonstrated and made her demonstrate on the horse. It was not something that was great, but this woman had power over her. It will be done, Mistress Cecilia. Is young Master Jean unharmed? The matriarch's face was pale, her nostrils flaring with that angry energy, that anger showing in her face as she gazed at her. Blake could detect something in the crocodile's eyes that had shifted, an urgency in them that did not fade, like someone getting stabbed. Unharmed, thank the gods. If something had happened to him... The crocodile's lips pressed thinly together. Was it the deer? Distaste and power were wreathed in her voice. Blake could feel it inside herself, too. Something about the deer. Because it was weak. It wasn't like her, who bore the blood of the panther within her veins. No, a bandit. Somehow she managed to infiltrate our home and deliver a threat, because we have no guards. Oh, wait. No, we do have a guards. We have an entire order of assassins living underneath the house. Anyway,
Is that plot point later?
It's a plot point later. They literally have an order of like 100 or 200 like faunus assassins.
They got the fucking Illuminati!
They literally have the Assassin's Creed, like the guild for Assassin's Creed, living underneath their house, and people are just constantly breaking in. So yeah.
How?
Mm.
Are they really that? Oh wait, they are Assassin's from Assassin's Creed. Shit!
Literally, I shit you not. Like they push back the bookcase, and it's the hidden passage underneath the house, and they have the big training fuck off area with the circle thing where you practice. It's fucking kill me.
That explains the incompetence.
Oh my god. The woman explained, and Blake could feel that power swell as the woman seemed to snap to her senses suddenly. Come, my daughter needs your help. They left her, and she tried to remember the important things, looking at herself as the sweat dripped from her body. She felt some faint anger inside her flare up. Why was she so angry? Why did it feel like she had been numb to the world? A good faunus is one that is seen, yet not heard unless the master calls for her. I am Blake Belladonna, daughter of Gira and Callie. The words were softly repeating, from the hundreds of times that the old woman had repeated them. It was softly turning into a drone as she felt awareness go through her suddenly. The voice of someone in her ears suddenly. Good day, kitten. A soft-spoken voice behind her, as mocha-colored hands slid over her body. She shivered as a wet rag was brushed over her back. She was Blake Belladonna, a slave. She was not free. She was... Oh, sorry, somebody emailed me. She was... Anger blossomed inside her as she could see the traitor, the faunus who had been there to take her through the humiliation of the Archair. She could see it in the traitor's eyes, and everything snapped back. Whatever the days had been, it was now clearing. A fog slowly rose from the corners of her memory, reminding herself she was the daughter of Gira Belladonna, the Panther, the man who had submitted to humanity after shaming himself. No, that would be your grandfather, you dumb fuck, but anyway. She felt the burning shame go through her, remembering the time when the crocodile had forced her to recite the Slave's Creed. Different from the Assassin's Creed, obviously. You think I'm joking, Lyle, I'm not.
The Slave's Creed? So how's the Assassin's Creed gonna fit into all this?
Oh, you'll fucking find out, Sonny Jim, and you'll fucking want to kill everyone.
When they start fighting the Knights Templar.
You mean the good guys?
God damn it!
Yes.
Stop emailing me. Um. Uh. Bu- 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 Yeah, Slave's Creed. Every time she was perfect, she got praise. The old woman treating her as if she was somehow praiseworthy by reciting that damn creed. The glint in those old age eyes, something that held promise, praise, and something more. The rag rubbed over her back, wiping away the sweat and the marks of the punishment that she had suffered. It had all blurred together into one massive blur of sound and sight, with the burden that had come with it. She did not give in. The master was still an evil rapist who would make her feel good? She doubted that, but you're wrong, she moaned, feeling the traitor's hands brush over her back, touching the marks which had been carved into it. She felt like she knew what she wanted. We need... Freezing cold water was dunked over her as the traitor walked into her view. The clarity of her mind returned. Cool eyes looked into her own. The faint hint of something in the air, a hand grabbing her by the collar around her neck. You need to learn, kitten. A tone that was chiding, yet with a hint of pity. Blake Belladonna did not like the thought of being pitied. The flame within her roused itself. When presenting yourself to someone of higher status, what do you do when requested to by your master to perform the third gesture? She kept her lips shut, not saying the words. She knew the procedure. The voice of the woman ghosted through her head, telling her of the special depth of the bow and its meaning, as befitted someone of her status. What do you do when the master makes you suck his cock, degenerate?
Oof.
She threw the... Oh, no, that's fucking Blake saying that, never mind. What do you do when the master makes you suck his cock, degenerate? She threw the question back, noticing the dusky features of the traitor's faunus shift a little, a look in those eyes changing slowly. There was a deep-rooted disgust in them, something that looked at her like she was nothing but the most common faunus, whereas she was the daughter of the panther. Which master do you speak of? The only one that with a cock.
Which one do you speak of course?
The one with the cock, you dumb fuck. You only have one of them in your family.
It couldn't
Unless you're
help but be
talking
the
about
guy.
John's dad.
Exactly.
Never mind then. The traitor asked and Blake snorted. It was obvious, of course, from how she referred to that raping human scum, that he would be the one. Her mistress was a degenerate homosexual. Of course she'd not know why. The rapist, just like your own mistress. The degenerous faunus looked at her. The Ellen DeGeneres faunus, sorry. The degenerate faunus looked at her with a look in her eyes that Blake could not quite place, something that seemed to understand. The maid outfit on Tara looked proper, the dog faunus giving a small smile. The rapist, as you so eloquently put it, is your master, Jean Arc. It can be forgiven that you do not know what your role is, as you have obviously been untrained. But yes, this slave would gladly suck his cock. Gladly. The look in those eyes, that faint hint of pride as the woman leaned forward, her elegant outfit barely ruffled. Blake could smell something that was spicy, faint in the cloth. The young master is not someone who would be bothering this slave unless he requested her. Like Mistress Saffron, this one will serve. There was a firm belief in those words, a conviction that just seemed to bring with it that relief of responsibility, a loathsome belief that through service one could gain the freedom that one craved. Just like the doe, this traitor to her kind had given up. Just like the crocodile, she wished to labor under the whip of the humans, the masters who have abused them. You should resist! Strangle her in her sleep! That degenerate woman... The hand on her throat choked it shut. Dead eyes looked into hers. She struggled as the fingernails dug into her neck and the head of the canine faunus turned slowly, looking at with her with a look that was something that frightened her. There was something in those eyes that she had seen in those brave enough to willingly die for the cause, whose life was forfeit without this final blaze of flaring flame. No. Lady Ash will correct you too. She's good at that. Sweet, blessed oxygen came back to her throat as Tara's hand released her, her eyes looking at her hand, the blood coating fingertips from where the fingernails had dug into her throat, coughing and rattling as she tried to find the oxygen again. The rag was pressed against her skin again as the other fauna smiled. And do you know what the fun part is? Blake dreaded the smile on those lips as the dark eyes met hers. They were unfriendly. They held the promise of something dark, something that was dangerous, the eyes that had looked at the world with a threat. You won't own anything. Not like the deer. She's the one who owns something, who is the good one. Yes. A hand traced along Blake's cheek, fingers drawing a streak over the flesh. Blake felt like she was in the sight of a predator, something that could rip her apart. The master was a good one, but she named me. Tara. Little Tara. Yes, I still remember it. He was so nice, giving me my bowl. The master is kind. The master is nice. But wrong. The woman was obviously addled by some sort of sick lust for her body. The words made no sense. Why should the woman not have a name? Why should there not be a name for someone who was a slave? Why would you not have why would you not have a name? What is your original name, Tara? Why don't you tell me? I can call you by your real name, rather than the ones that they gave you like a pet. You can be free, like me. She tried to reason with her, and the look of rage and anger came to the woman's eyes as she shielded her back. You are not educated, stupid cat. You don't know. You are spoiled. You know your lineage. She didn't understand at all. It was natural, wasn't it? The four were well known for their traits and their ability, though there was variation in their traits. Twins would not hold the same traits, but they occasionally appeared a generation down the line. Her father had told her that. Hey, I have fought for our freedom. You have no idea what freedom is. Captive here by the humans. The canine faunus merely looked at her and shook her head, rubbing the rag on her face. I hope he will be more obedient. Master Jean needs a good cat. Blake wanted to spit, but a voice in her head told her that ladies did not spit, that faunus did not spit. The master may visit. Consider yourself blessed. Master Jean is kind. For your spot in his life, thousands of us would beg and plead. She didn't understand, nor did she care. She ranted and raved at the woman, speaking of the glories that would come. The canine faunus merely looking at her with a sense of sadness in her eyes, the finger brushing over her back, rubbing up and down as if trying to jog some shard of memory. Are you done? Blake's mouth opened and Tara's eyes were cold, the words dying on her lips. Tara walked close and patted her head, a smile on her lips. You're not worthy of the cum that made you, Blake, compared to the deer. The smile turned brighter. Also, I had to correct that sentence. You're not worthy the cum that made you, Blake. Somebody forgot to put an of the. The smile turned brighter as Tara's fingers touched over Blake's chin. Enjoy your freedom, Blake. A light stroke as the fingers pressed against her nose, Tara's elegance contrasting with Blake's own immodesty. You should not talk about my father like that. He is still the panther. He holds the authority. The smile turned warmer, as if some joke was being shared that she wasn't in on. The finger slid down over her cheek, tracing over the skin. Authority over what, Blake? The son of the traitor? The granddaughter of the traitor who destroyed the foundations of our species? I have heard. I feel the need to serve, but I will not. Mistress Saffron is kind. The anger in that voice took her back, as she remembered the stories that her father had told her. It was a noble duty, even if he was but a minor speaker of the council. It had always been so, as the world had turned and the four had stewarded the people. Do you know what I have, Belladonna? I have a bowl. You have nothing. You cannot curl up to the master as your fellow pet does, nor does he trust you. I am not letting you ruin the master. Even if the mistress dies, as long as he lives, she will be happy. It was disgusting to see such devotion for a simple trinket. Who would need affection when you could fight for freedom? The ox had said it, and the angry scowl on the woman's face did nothing to give to the world, whatever the fuck that means. He's sick in the mind. Woman should not lay with woman. The look in Tara's eyes did not change, the smile turning warmer. It was what sickened Blake the most, the look in those eyes that told her that things would be okay, that it would be accepted as just a brat acting out in the eyes of someone older and wiser. We're faunus, Blake. We're not even women to the masters. That Master John knows your name is a gift. It was a sickness of the mind. Faunus were people. They had names. What was your original name, Tara? Danger, something in those eyes shifting, the traitor's dog of the household that now owned her getting up, still smiling, still looking at her with those eyes that told her that she was just a brat, someone who didn't know better. You'd like to know, wouldn't you? Little Blake Belladonna, trying to find out a name. What's my name, you ask? What's my name? The hand slapped her twice, red marks showing on her face. The woman had slapped her. No shit, her body language showing aggressiveness. Don't ask again, kitten. Your line may be pure, but I can only defer for so long to that urge. You are no member of the Four, queen of the faunus. You are a queen of nothing. She was not, but she was still not someone of common birth. She was not, but she was still not someone of common birth. Her father and mother had been loving and had made sure that she knew how to act around those of her station. It was important, she knew. Why should the humans have the same courtesies given to them, the enslaving scum? Let her go, Terra. The voice of the crocodile came, and Blake watched the dog faunus retreat. The crocodile looking at her with eyes that were the color of blood. Blake could smell blood on her, as her clothes were stained with it, the blood of humans. There was a pall that fell over the woman's face as she looked at her. Mistress Juniper has been sent towards the hospital. Please ensure that Master Jean's bedroom is giving a cleaning, and to have the sheets replaced. The dear is with Master. The woman's distaste was visible in her voice, her eyes never quite leaving her. The look in those eyes a deadly one. The woman was the real threat. Compared to the half-threats that the canine made, there was something natural about the way that the woman assumed command, something within the bearing that made her wish to respond with obedience, though it really shouldn't be like this. There was a responsibility with being the daughter of the panther, as much as it was, but the woman is an aberration, one of the twisted ones who shouldn't have been drowned at birth. Disgusting and crude existences, something that defied the natural order of things by being born wrongly. So yeah, the faunus practice eugenics and infanticide. Who could have fucking guessed?
I mean, that's the least of their sins at this point.
The least of them, yeah. Is Mistress Juniper all right? The crocodile paused for a moment, her lips pressed tightly together. There was a deliberation that played through the woman's eyes before a slow shake of the head was given. The damage seems to be located within the lower body. It is dubious whether she'll be able to walk again. I've seen it before during the war. Men lanced through the stomach, never able to walk again. There was a wistfulness in her voice, and Blake realized that the woman must have been fighting in the revolution. Why did you not aid in the defense? The Four could have been saved thanks to your intervention. We would not have been forced to bear the shame of defeat if you had been there. The woman's head turned to her, and something entered those eyes that frightened her, something that was unrestrained and vile and wicked and without mercy or pity, as the woman took a deep breath, closing her eyes. It was thanks to your grandfather that there was minimal bloodshed, Blake Belladonna. The woman's voice was light, with no inflection. The woman turned away, her breath hissing softly through the aged teeth. You are saved from death simply because of that benediction. Terra, would you call Helena and Artemis here? It seems our little panther cub hasn't learned when to remain silent. Such a rude girl. Oh yeah, so you're gonna get Helena to punish the fucking faunus, but you're not gonna get Helena to potentially help save your fucking sister. Okay. Okay.
I can tell that you love the story a lot.
Fucking Christ on a cross. Made out of fucking bologna.
Christ left his house long ago.
Yeah, that's why he's on the cross.
Oh, okay, sorry, I was fucking trying to remember where the hell I was. Something terrified the canine faunus as the crocodile had been facing away from her, Terra able to witness the expression on the face of the older woman, falling to her knees. Come on, go. Be a good dog and fetch Mistress Helena and Artemis. I'll be requiring their services. Terra scrambled out of the room on all fours, not even deigning to walk, the woman's head turning again. There was a kindly smile on the woman's face as she laid her hand on the horse. What do you know about the actions of your grandfather, my dear child? Those eyes were looking at her, judging and gauging, the aged gnarled fingers stroking over the wood. The pain hit her suddenly, the feeling of the weight, something stopping the feedback from being blocked as she felt the strain of having been suspended like this for hours. He betrayed our leaders. Thanks to him, we lost. A soft maternal smile. It was unusual to see on the woman's face, and it terrified Blake for some reason. Do you really think that Fort Castle was the worst thing that your kind could have suffered, Blake? She didn't like this line of questioning. Fort Castle had been where the humans had cut their way through their forces, had dismantled the very workings of the place and hung the bodies to perish from their wounds. A testament to the failure of the Faunus uprising. It had been the execution of the four that had led to their capitulation. Yeah, yeah, yes. The smile on the woman's face turned somewhat warmer. It was a kind look that did not suit her features, her trait. The one who was born wrong looked at her, and she felt a shiver go through her. Little panther cub, you needn't worry. The deer will be disposed of, and you will take your place at your master's side. That fire inside you will be stoked. You will fight for your rights. A light pat to her cheek, but the terror inside her grew. The kind eyes were not kind, and she felt that she was leaking urine. Looking at the woman's face as she leaned up to her ear. There is only one fate for you, Lake Belladonna. Servitude. But I guess... A burst of soft laughter, something breathy and wary, aged and tired, born from someone who had lived longer than she had and held wisdom that she did not. I guess there's nothing to be done about it. Master Jean has indicated a desire to see you. She didn't understand, but it was not her place to understand. He should rot! It slipped out, and the look in the eyes changed marginally. The hand touched the base of her neck. The truth, my dear. She couldn't stop herself. Why do you serve someone who has done nothing for this world? He treats us like pets. We are still sentient. I think you mean, what'd you say? Fucking, sapient, thank you. Why do you serve a family that has enslaved us, who have brought us nothing but pain and hate towards us? The crocodile gave a laborious sigh, shaking her head to the words that she had just spewed. A light tap to her neck, and she felt her throat seize up. A shaking of the woman's head continued, with not a single thread of thought pushed towards the burning inside her. Do you think that young Master Jean is a bad person? She shook her head. He wasn't. He just raped her. That his dear...
Holy shit! Do you think he's a bad person? No, he just raped me. He's okay.
But she didn't because he wanted it. Fuck you. That his dear Faunus was a traitor was her business. She was still someone who didn't see the world as free as it was. No, but... The woman looked at Blake with eyes that held something deep in their depths, a faint stirring inside Blake that continued, searching and searing through her body. There were words trying to come out of her mouth. She didn't think he was a bad person. She just didn't like the circumstances she was in. What if the world was filled with people like young Master Jean? Would you like that? She didn't know. The woman was being kind, and she felt like she was not getting something. There was something in her mind that told her that she was being deceived. There was something that she was missing. I wouldn't be free to go and be who I wanted, to go where I want to go. They would still have me in chains. A soft laugh, dark and chilling, the woman's hand going to her neck and pulling the collar loose. Blake watched as the woman held the collar in her hand, rolling her neck once or twice. A soft look, one that was nearly as brutal as the chilling look. What chains can bind me? She isn't collared? She knew that her face must show her surprise as the woman fastened the collar once more, the click of it loud in the room. It was a softness of the features on the old woman that hardened, firming into a look that seemed to hold within it the power of someone who was higher in standing than she was. Why haven't you done anything? Without a collar you would be free. The look on the woman's face was grim as she seized Blake's chin, the aged features looking into her own, and something in them changed. She felt fear go through her as she saw that look of ancient pain. There was a man who asked me that very same question once, Little Panther. It was on a day much like this, when there had been a terrible accident. Do you know what I answered, little one? The fingers were pressing into her skin as the woman's gaze met her own, and there was nothing but that deep, dark fear that welled up inside her. I gave my word. I would keep you all safe. A look, mournful and perhaps touched, before the woman's hand left her, and Blake gasped. The woman had sworn herself to servitude to a member of the Ark family, likely at a time when she was... The woman was old. It would have been very likely that she was at least in her 70s or 80s, old enough to have been young and enslaved when she had been but a teenager. She felt an upwelling of slight pity for the woman who hadn't ever been free. It was squashed a moment later, because she didn't want to feel like that for someone who bore so much hate in her heart. When everything comes together, Master Jean will have what he deserves. and you, my little Faunus Queen, will be one of the things he owns. It is a pity, but alas. The smile was back, dark and terrifying as the woman's head turned, the door opening and the twins standing there. Tired expressions, bags under the eyes, and a faint hint of unease within them as they looked at the Faunus woman, the one who wore a collar as an ornament, likely diffused as well. Sometimes we do not get what we wish for during our lifetimes. Blake saw the glow wrap around the two women as Ash pointed a finger at her. Do ensure that she feels a little bit more animated. Ensure that she feels the sting of disobedience for her master. I will fetch something to drink for you, poor dears. The twins moved, uniform steps, taking a side of her and laying a hand on her. Blake's world expanded once more into a blur of slowed sensation as adrenaline shot through her system, and the weird feeling increased once more. Neither of the twins had spoken, or she might just have lost her focus. Blake Belladonna was in hell. Why? Why would you serve a human when you could be free? Your word and your honor are linked, but is it really that important to keep words to a human? Okay, your turn again, Kitty. Oh god, my fucking voice.
Okie dokie. Let's see if this lozenge will keep me from fucking dying.
This is fucking glorious.
I'm gonna go take a piss, I'll be back.
Oh, then we're gonna wait.
Or as John says, I'm gonna go take a leak. Oh.
I went to take a leak and then they fucking attacked me.
I'm gonna go take a leak with my rock hard diamond.
Yeah, it feel like that.
My diamond dick!
My diamond cock.
My diamond dick.
We had a diamond.
Metal Gear Solid 5 has really been running out of names for shit.
Yes, now we're using the diamond dongs.
Oh, dear Lord. In other news, Lonesome Road is still amazing.
You're there?
Yep.
9.
Cool.
These lozenges are successfully keeping me from coughing. Wait.
You can take a moment to breathe and wait for Kira to come back.
Yes, that's what I'm doing.
Oh, alright.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm fucking doing. Let's see. Which is the one that I have the stream going on. There we go.
Just be sure everyone can hear our misery and hear the dog shit that's being read out.
Yay!
And it really is dog shit. No offense to the writer, but
No.
dear lordy.
No. Offense should be taken. If no offense is taken, then my God, nothing's gonna be done.
Fair enough. In that case, take all the offense. Have your heart destroyed by us tearing your garbage apart.
Listen. I'm gonna rip your fucking fanfiction's head off and then fuck its esophagus.
Oddly specific, but hey, I'm not gonna judge your fetishes.
No, I'm just emulating what its protagonist would do.
Oof.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
So, what do you think of the chapter so far, Kitty?
Oh no.
Is it great to have a reveal that one of the characters that talks doesn't need a color to do so? Isn't that just great? Isn't that just riveting storytelling?
I don't like any of this.
Okay, I'm back.
Syphilis sounds more interesting than this.
Syphilis, South Point.
Yang watched them carry the body of the older sister away, feeling a splash of worry within the pool of her feelings. Oh, wow, a pool...
A fucking feeling of thought within her fucking pool of her thighs. That's what I thought you were gonna say.
Within the pool that was her thighs. Ooh, woo, baby. You know, I just had the realization. You take Yang's tits and you put them on Blake's body and you're left with all... No. You take Blake's ass and you put them on Yang's body, you're left with a lolly and a girl that's properly proportioned.
You mean the kind of girl you want to fuck?
Yes, I do like the latter.
What the fuck? How does taking away Blake's ass make her a lolly?
You take away a foot of her height at the same time.
Okay, well then that's more than her ass then, Kitty, you dumb fuck.
No, you remove the entire pelvis.
I was gonna say, Kitty, you'd have to take away the ass, you'd have to take away the curves, and you'd also have to remove a foot of height from her, and also take away, like, her fucking deep cup tits.
We're just thinking too much.
You know, this character would be a lolly if you just started hacking away pieces of flesh like a fucking meat doctor.
Oh my god.
These are the depths I go to try and entertain myself, okay?
Okay.
Stop doing that. Suffer. That's what's doing, right? You get?
No!
When will you be good then?
Anyways.
Ladies and gentlemen, we lost them.
Kitty, you'll never be Mark Hamill. Just stop.
Who?
The Joker.
Huh?
You know, the original Joker, Mark Hamill.
Luke
Because of
Skywalker.
your fucking laugh. Oh no, sorry, I'm thinking of somebody else, but it's the guy who voiced the Joker who does that iconic laugh that you were fucking trying to do.
Trying to do?
Fucking, I can't remember. Yes, I can't fucking remember his name though.
I have like 4 fucking different types of laughing that I do. It's not me trying to do a specific type of laugh. That's just a way that I choose to laugh at times.
No, he's just appears crazy because he's fucking bored. Don't listen to
Don't
his lies.
don't rationalize it, Corper. Damn it. Anyways, it wasn't nice to see the master worry so, as he looked concerned. Wow! His mother looking in her direction for a moment as the large ramphaunus and the crocodile moved out. It's going to be okay, master. There was a hopeful tone to her voice, knowing that he was distraught. Don't worry, if she's in a wheelchair, you can still bone her.
God damn it, Kitty.
She could see it. Actually, it makes it easier because now there's already a mobile platform.
Stop.
She could see it in his eyes. She could feel it in his general presence. The unease in those eyes. No, it's gonna be in his penis. She got hurt because of me. Yang. He sighed again, and his mother, in an act of motherly No, it's gonna be fatherly concern, clearly, spoke up. Yang could not imagine what his mother was going through after all of this. She made sure that you were safe, Jean. You're the only son I have. She's still alive, and that's all that matters, no matter what. Yang could understand the worry in the mother's eyes as she looked at her master. I'll be going with Juniper to the hospital. I will inform you, father, of things in the morning. Try to get some sleep, Jean. Mongrel. The woman looked at her for a moment before she sighed, rubbing her temples. I almost read that as thighs. The woman's eyes never quite strayed from her face as she looked at the mistress. My son trusts you. for some reason I do not quite fathom. The woman's face twisted, looking quite annoyed with the next words that she is to say. She's fucking scripted. She's running off a script. Great.
Shittywriting.exe.
Shittywriting.exe continues to work.
I am not disapproving of your devotion. That is all. It was probably the highest praise that she could be able to get out of the haughty woman for her service, and she had been knocked out in a single strike from the woman who had infiltrated the bedroom. Blade flashed. Her head hurt, and she'd fallen back into the bed.
Yes, after suffering a major head injury, she just tucks herself in for a nice nap.
Come on. She will get asphyxiated in the bathroom. Then
keep reading, because there's something I'm going to point out.
After the woman had punched her, her aura had flared and she had felt it shatter, the hit having been hard enough to knock her unconscious.
Hold on just for a sec. So, the implication is that Raven, knocked her out with one punch, right?
One punch!
And she was unaware that Raven was there, right? Raven knocked her out with one punch, and she was unaware,
I don't
right?
see how that happened.
I was going to say, why would her aura flare and then shatter if you have to, consciously activate your aura, which is what it's been going with in this story? Why would her aura flare if she got hit unexpectedly?
It's a fucking plot hole. Let's continue on.
People in general struggle with giving oral contact because it fucking sucks.
I think you mean consistency, Lal.
Yeah, staying consistent with aura is a fucking nightmare. Kitty would know.
I just set a rule and I'm sticking with it. For better
Also
or
a
for
nice
worse.
screenshot, Lal.
But the master was safe. If the master was safe, she would be safe.
How about that?
Sleep well, John. Saffron's fondness will be there to give you cleaner sheets. Yes, ones that aren't soaked in blood.
Yes, and lady cum and man cum and stuff.
Just cum in general. They're not soaked in cum or cum.
Actually, all to come.
Blood. Decum.
I never understood the whole thing of going to bed immediately after doing that, because it just feels weird. Like, you wake up and you're all crusty and shit.
What?
Fucking
Also-
why? Why
Also,
would you do that?
Cap, stop sending me good cat girls I'd want to fuck. Stop doing that.
Never.
Stop
Never.
And that
Never.
was worthy of being archived.
Welcome to Coomers Anonymous with Kitty as your host.
Who was it?
I hate everything.
It was a simple platitude, something that could keep a child occupied, but her mother was not a child. She could see the look in his eyes, could feel that terror clawing at him, her arm wrapped around him. He smelled of her and blood and a different scent, but like her own. He's sniffing them titties! Thank you, Mother. Please, make sure that Juniper gets the best of care. The woman left, leaving two of them in the room. Leaving the two of them in the room. Yang looked at her master, who looked morose. His sister in the room, but still... His sister in the room still, but not really engaging, looking out of the window, not very active in her presence.
Then it isn't just the two of them in the room, you dumb fucking cock dick motherfucker.
Yes, that would be 3 people. We continue.
God.
Albert, what you said about Juniper, is it? His older sister turned to face him, her eyes looking at him with that expression that seemed to be guileless and innocent, a softness of the lips as she shook her head. I love you all. It was a strange statement as the woman moved, her steps light as a feather, barely audible in the room. She stood before him. He still undressed. Hold on, he put on pants and he took them off.
I don't fucking know. It said he got dressed, but now it's saying he's undressed and naked.
He
still.
put on pants to get his mother, and then he took them off.
Also, if you're fucking, I don't
Oh
really
my
fucking.
God, this is bad as the fucking Yang never taking his dick out of her throat.
Yeah. Also, I don't fucking know. But if my sister was stabbed or whatever, and I was going to inform my mom, I really wouldn't give a shit about putting on a pair of fucking pants. God damn it.
Yeah, just
No.
let his rock hard dick flop around in the wind.
Yeah.
Listen, Courier. You need to get your pants on while she is slowly dying. You know.
Oh yeah. While your sister's slowly dying, you need to preserve your modesty. So.
Yeah.
From your fucking mom who fucking cleaned your dick. So.
If you'll do it again with a mouth layer.
Oh, fuck off! As I'm saying, yeah, you're probably gonna end up sucking it. Lol says that. Great, glorious.
Guess we both know it.
The woman moved, her steps light as a feather, barely audible in the room. She stood before him. He was still undressed and naked, but it was no objection to Yang or him. What, she's gonna grab his dick? Okay.
Oh boy.
She won't talk again. No, she'll never marry, but it's better than being dead. Being dead is bad.
Because making intentionally obnoxious character makes it good writing.
A soft laugh, breathy and without much humor, as the older sister leaned against her brother. I don't want you dead, little brother. You've got things... Lozenge! Almost went down my throat.
Jesus.
You've got things to do still. Papa doesn't like it when I make little jokes. No. Judy will be home tomorrow, or maybe today. Go to her, okay? Judy shouldn't be lonely. Yang could see the love in those eyes, could see that despite the woman being warped and twisted, there was still deep love in those eyes. There was a ghost of something in those eyes, something vile and twisted, mangled and broken, but also a deep, peaceful love.
There was something in those eyes. She could see that despite the woman being warped and twisted, there was still a deep love in those eyes. There was a ghost of something in those eyes, something vile and twisted, mangled and broken, but also a deep, peaceful love.
Shut up.
Artificially padding out the language. Artificial padding.
Listen, this worked fine in the first chapter, where he had an excuse for it being a commission. After that, no! He doesn't have an excuse anymore.
Oh, I feel the anger.
Let it flow through you, Kyria.
I feel the red-hot, burning rage, the need to fucking kill. Oh
You
god, it's
feel the
rising.
red hot chili pepper in your flesh.
Yes, it fucking burns.
Listen, man, just rub one out and you'll be calm in about 20 minutes.
I can't rub one out while reading this.
And you just need to concentrate on something better.
You just need to try really hard.
Cap, I need porn. Please, post me porn.
Cat, please stop
Hey.
sending me cat girls I want to fuck. No, send me good ones, please.
Cap, I changed my mind. Send me all the cat girls, quickly.
9.
No, because you said to stop. I'm going to stop for the day. Fuck you. That's your
Cap, the
punishment.
one time you listened to me. Don't do it, Cap.
Anyways.
Besides, if you keep fucking asking me for that shit, I'm gonna have to start charging you money.
How much for sending me porn? God damn it.
Tree fitty. Anyways.
Fuck off.
I'll be back soon. I feel it coming. They gotta lock me away again for a few days. I hope they bring the good stuff. It's all stopped
to work? Johnny?
It's all stopped to work, Johnny. Nothing can make me feel peace anymore, but it's fine. Fine, fine, fine. Everything will be fine. There won't be fear. No, no, no.
The woman was odd. Okay. Odd. And perhaps a
fucking
little odd.
This is
Alternatively,
wow, thanks.
the woman was insane. Insane. Perhaps a little insane.
Insane,
Sorry,
but a little insane.
wait, hold on, Kitty. I'm fucking typing right now. Does it actually say that? Where?
Quote, the woman was odd, comma, crazy, comma, perhaps a little insane, comma. It says insane in 3 different fucking ways.
Where?
She was
Where?
She was
I'm trying to
crazy.
fucking find it.
Odd, comma, crazy, comma, a little
Oh
insane.
my fucking god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
But she looked at her brother with an expression of love and dedication, something Yang could appreciate. The master was a good master, someone who didn't need to worry about danger or fucking his sisters. Yet.
Yeah.
I will keep you safe.
The woman's
He says,
gaze
as he
rested
failed
on...
to keep his other sister from getting fucking knifed.
No, that's her saying it.
Oh.
The woman's gaze rested on her, a smile on her face.
Good Yang. I like her, Jean. She'll be yours until your death, yes.
Why do all these guys sound like Southern Americans?
I live in the South. Well, fuck off.
South will rise again, brothers.
I gotta have that
Oh,
drawl.
Rise again.
The South will rise again.
Cap. Now those are some cat girls I'd love to fucking fuck. Nice.
Yang hoped that she would. If there was to be a fight, she would win it. Her master, the man who she had shared her body with earlier, deserved nothing less. Abby, she's my funness. She's not. The older sister smiled and pressed her finger against his lips.
She is. Don't worry, she will be. I know because Cammer hasn't seen. She still thinks about the last thing she saw. She doesn't like it. Nope. Cammy wants, but she can't have. It's silly, but she's silly at times. Cammy is great, even when Junie makes her rub her forehead. Artie and Haley are weird, but Saffron wants to take your toys. They don't want to take my toys. I'm still not done, Jean. No beautiful little babies. They always break.
What the fuck are you doing?
This is like the definition of the deep fucked up South. Right. I can hear Alabama playing in the distance.
I've been to fucking Georgia, Arkansas, and Tennessee, and I've never heard anybody actually talk like that, unironically.
Could someone get into fucking chat and tell Reno to fuck off, please?
What's he doing?
He's asking what the hell the coils on the Gauss thing and the fucking commission art was, and I told him it was supposed to be a Gauss anti-material rifle, and now he's bitching at me about how inaccurate it is.
Ah, fuck off.
I'm actually tempted just to kick him, honestly.
He's
Doesn't
like,
contribute
bruh,
anything.
Fallout New Vegas has M4 weapons and shit. You could have totally made it. Yeah, but I didn't fucking make it. I had someone else make it, you dumb motherfucker. Also, look at this laser gun. Does this look like a realistic laser gun to you, you dumb cunt?
There is no realistic laser guns. We don't have lasers yet.
Yes, neither do we have handheld fucking Gauss rifles that can take a man's head off at fucking 5 miles.
Yes, that's Southern love. Okay, a Gauss rifle.
Them
God
Gauss
damn.
rifles, boy. Gotta
Fucking
get them
Christ.
Gauss rifles.
Sorry, readers, we're having some fucking difficulties here in Discord.
There are some technical difficulties with some people's heads that we can't really fix. Anyways.
Oh my god, I'm just muting him. I don't even fucking care anymore.
Her master looked uncomfortable, and she held him a little closer.
John, speak to the pretty kitty and tell her.
There was a momentary pause, and she smiled with greater warmth.
She's going to be all right, too, when she accepts the truth of her situation. She's not taught yet. Teach her.
Touch her. Show her.
Touch the cow, now.
Touch the cow. Do it now. She could feel a spark of something in her master's stance, a hint of something in his eyes as he looked at his sister, a trembling of his lip and a shifting of his body. Will it help? I'm not. His older sister shook her head.
No, she'll still resist. She has the thoughts of freedom stuck in her mind. Now listen.
The woman's mouth moved closer to her brother's ear, and she whispered 3 numbers in the ear of... No! She'll move close to his ear and then whisper it into his penis. 3 numbers into the penis of her brother. Like, fuck!
You aren't a true master of communication unless you can talk through your cock.
Fucking hate everything.
Go tomorrow to the auction house. I want to. Nope, not telling.
A smile, and the master looked a little quizzical as his sister kissed his cheek. Weird!
That's a Curious, do they do this down in the South? If so, I think it's time we drop the second nuke.
A second? When did the first one land down south?
That's a story for another time, okay?
Oh god!
I was going to say also, Lal, look, Florida may be the most south you can get in the U.S., but it's separate from the South. Like, trust me, if you ever come here, you'll know. Okay? Like, it's actually weird, right? The fucking lower down in Florida, like, the more south you get, the more north it becomes. It's like a weird paradox.
Well, that's where all the snowbirds go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm fucking muting Reno. Now, I told him to fuck off and make his own Gauss rifle if he cares that much, and he's like, you're gonna throw that false argument fallacy against me?
Oh,
I'm like, yes, I am, Reno. I'm blocking him, fuck off.
Hey, Reno lives in Hawaii, so eventually a coconut will fall on him, so you don't have to worry about it.
Anyways.
Everything will be okay, Johnny. Sleep time now after you go meet with Kitty.
Don't you talk about me that way, you whore.
Kitty needs to see you or she'll be lost to her anger. Yep. Scoot, scoot. Go, go. Shoot your goo, boy. Speak with mother. Yes, yes. She loves her mother.
No.
Shoot your goo, my dude.
Scoot, scoot. Shoot the coop.
The master got up and got dressed, a shirt and something a little more formal for pants, his eyes looking at her, and he smiled. The insane woman merely gave a little wave back.
I'll make sure to guard Yang. She's a good Yang.
As she was left alone with the woman, she looked uncertain, not quite sure what the human woman desired of her.
It was not a question in her mind, yet the woman looked at her, shaking her head lightly. No, 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 that won't do. That won't do. Sit straight!
Yang did as she was asked, Auburn smiling with that smile that didn't reach those mad eyes.
Not good, not good. You know, but you don't know. Yes, you love my brother.
Don't you? It was blunt, to the point, and the voice spoke, but the eyes were drifting off. She didn't admit it. Nein, he is my master. Love is not allowed. She didn't notice when, but the woman's hands suddenly found her temples, fingers touching the face so close. You can say it. You're a good faunus, not like the Blackwood, whose heart is filled with cravings for that which she cannot reach. She desires an ox, but yet she will get John! She doesn't accept that at all, yet she will! She felt the touch as she smelled the scent of the master lingering in the bedroom. It was warm and comfortable, and she knew somehow that the woman wouldn't tell. I don't want her to hurt him. It was honest, and the woman smiled. Good. You're such a good girl, Yang. Remember. The next words were spoken, but she didn't hear them. She thought of her father. He'd said that she should remember that he would always love her.
Is this Yang that's talking to this woman?
Auburn.
Yep.
Yeah, so why does Yang keep referring to her fucking father? It's super goddamn creepy. Every single time. Sex scene.
No. Shut up, Lol. It actually has a purpose for once this time.
Oh, thank God.
For fucking once it has a purpose.
Alright.
Okay, what was my voice for Taiyang that I had? It's a silly thing, Yang. Wait, no.
It's a silly thing, Yang. You don't know what you're going... You don't know that you're going to be alive, and you know that it isn't always as easy in life. When you find that the one who completes you and makes you feel that feeling that you can feel throughout your whole body, that's when you know you're right.
His weathered...
by second.
His weathered face looked a little worse as his lips curved into a small smile. She hadn't understood it, but smiled regardless. Her father knew the best things, and he'd taught her. Now, you should remember that I'll always love you. No matter what happens, I'll always be there, watching over you, even if I'm not here anymore. She hugged him tightly, knowing that he'd be gone once upon a time. Only once upon a time. Interesting.
I needed to go to the Western Front.
Do you know the way?
I need to go. My people need me.
She knew that she should be proud of what she was, of who she was, the daughter of the best dad in the world, the girl who was his world. Even if I love a human. The man smiled at her, his hands patting her on the back of her head, rubbing through her hair. If it's someone you love, how could I ever deny that? How could I ever deny you that, my sweet little dragon? Even if it's a human, if you love him, I cannot deny that. Remember that, Yang. Your mother was difficult. She's not someone who easily admits that she is wrong. But he looked away, weary and worn, but there was that hint of longing in his eyes, a softness of her father's features. As he scratched the fuzz on his chin, he was tired, but he was with her, which made the world a lot more bearable to her. He wouldn't think badly of her if the thought of falling in love with a human was a little odd. Remember, Yang, when all you've got left is yourself, know that you're my little Yang. The woman's eyes looked sad as she gazed at her, having apparently finished what she was saying. There was that deep look in the woman's mind of something beyond sanity.
I'm going to go now. I want to see John off tomorrow. Have fun and remember.
The woman leaned forward and gave a kiss to her cheek. It was unexpected, but the woman's eyes did not really change much in their expression.
Keep my little brother safe. Juniper will live. She doesn't die by the hand of the nevermore, no. Not all the times I've seen, not all the times I bore witness. It scares me. It scares me so much to feel the knives, to see what happened over and over and over again. But never will Juniper die today, for it is not time for her today. Camellia doesn't see because she fears. No, 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 no!
God Christ!
The rocking motion, the woman's head shaking wildly.
She fears so much, so much. She wants to kill them all, but it isn't good. It isn't good. Why isn't it good to kill them all? Animals don't need their rights. They need...
A shrill giggle, fearful and pained.
Why can't I have a pet, Mommy? Was it because it stopped moving? I was trying to make puppies. No, not the puppies. She wanted it, the dirty animal. She was going to try to hurt you, so I stopped her. No, not the pills. I don't like that, Mommy. They hurt me, Mommy. And Mommy!
This is not how crazy people act. Please stop
I
it.
know, it's fucking stupid, but...
I went to school with literal insane people. This is not how they talk. Christ.
I'm doing it anyways. She got up, something inside of her feeling like she had to. The master wasn't here, yet the woman looked like she was losing it. Her eyes wild, her head shaking, her body shifting needlessly. It's... She was going to say something, but Auburn Ark's arms flailed, hitting her. There was a shiver.
We're all dead. We're all dead. They're all dead, and we're all dead, and Mommy's dead, and they killed Daddy. Daddy didn't do anything. He just did what was best. No, 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 no. I don't want to. I don't want to anymore. Please don't send me away again. Jean isn't old enough yet. He won't.
She wrapped her arms around the woman, hearing the mutterings, the whimpers.
Mommy! Mommy! Please don't send me back, Mommy. I want to stay at home. Please, please.
She held the girl, hearing the whispers.
They touch me. They touch me a lot. Bad touch, Mommy. Believe me, Mommy, please.
She wasn't supposed to hear this. She knew. She shushed softly, hoping that the woman would quieten down. I believe you, sweetheart. It was what she might say to a little sister, to someone who wasn't this older woman around her age.
I did it though. No babies from Auburn. Nope. I drank all of it. No one is going to do that to me. Nope. Not the first time, not the last. None from Auburn because it'll be in the past.
That is definitely something I should have heard. Isn't something I should have heard.
Sweetheart, why don't we sit down?
The woman, or perhaps the girl in a woman's body, giggled softly. She kissed Yang again, this time on the other cheek.
Nope. You love my little brother. You are his Yang.
God, this dialogue's so fucking bad.
I know. Oh god, give me a second. There we go. She felt her breath freeze in her chest as she looked into the eyes. No, she'll be looking into something else.
Look to that thing.
They were shifting slow.
You know,
Lol,
after a
no
while,
Pluto allowed.
After a while, it just kind of reminds me of that one in The Wicker Man. He's poured on him. But it's just eyeballs. He's like, not the eyes, not the eyes.
I don't know what that's referencing, so I'm gonna just keep going.
Yeah, it's because you're a faggot who doesn't watch movies.
I don't watch movies because I generally have better things to do.
Anyways, let's get on with this.
They were shifting slowly to a deep, dark violet color, blood visible as the blood vessels. You don't need to have blood vessels there, you just have the vessels! The capillaries! The deep...
blood.
The deep violet eyes looking into her own.
no. You know, Yang, it's okay. Tell my little brother and you mate with him. He can keep the secret. Trust 17.
The body fell against her, limp. Auburn Ark fainted dead away after saying those words, leaving her with the confusion and the body laid in her arms.
Beautiful writing.
She sat down, stroking over the woman's hair. A softness of the hair and delicateness of her features. Blood leaking from below the eyelids to form smears along the cheeks like bloody tears. Just say she's crying blood, my lord.
No, it's bloody tears, not, just crying blood.
Arms wrapped around her in a needy, almost desperate manner, and Yang adjusted the woman a little, sitting on the bed with the woman's head resting against her chest. It was awkward, but there was something she could do about the woman, waiting for her master to return. Her master entered, together with the dog faunus called Terra. She wanted to hug. She couldn't tell him the truth. The mad ramblings ghosted through her mind, looking at the woman in her arms. She shifted the woman softly as a smile came to her mind. Slowly she stirred, blue eyes opened and looked up at her. I love you, Jean. Her master smiled at his sister. He gently rubbed her head, the eyes opening once more, and the head rising. She's a good faunus. Remember the numbers, Johnny? Good. Go tomorrow. The slow getting up, Jean assisting his sister with getting up. No, me with getting dressed. Auburn's soft exhale tender. Yang remembered the words. She didn't feel comfortable. Master Jean, do you need me to assist her to her room? He looked at her and he nodded, words not being needed. She would assist him. It was still his sister.
Where's that? Oh, God.
I can get to my room, Jean. I don't need help. No.
Yang got up, still naked as the day she was born. Her hair brushed against Auburn's, a softness that was different from her own. Her master's supportive arm pulled his sister up.
I want a party. Mommy's going to send me away again after tomorrow night. I'll do a bad thing again, Johnny. Are you sad because I'm here?
There was care in his eyes. She could see that. No matter how uncomfortable he was, she was still his sister. No, Abby, I'm never sad with you around. You're my big sister. The woman nodded slowly, her feet unsteady, her body leaning against her brother's and Yang's grip. The faunus known as Terra stood there at the side, looking at them with a look. Ah!
She loves Terra. Yes. She loves Terra as a good pet girl. A good toy, yes. But she loves much. She loves us all, you know. She loves every one of us, even though she hasn't seen what Cammy knows. Nope! She hasn't seen what she could have seen. Nope. Why is the sky black? Where are they coming from? Daddy doesn't like it. Daddy doesn't like his Auburn.
Why is this guy black?
Why is the sky black? Well, you see, it abandoned its children.
Oh, God. Why is this guy black?
She gave a hug, enclosing her master with the hug and holding on tighter. She wasn't going to let the master be sad, and she knew the ravings were nothing. I can feel the claw. I can feel the claws in my mind, Cammy. Why aren't you here? I'm so lonely. Please touch me. Touch me! The whispers stop, Cammy. The whispers stop and you'll be happy. Yes, we don't have to be the only ones left. No, we're not the only ones left. No. The master slowly disentangled him, giving her a look, and a word went at that. His sister looked at him, stopping with her movements. I love you. You're my little brother. Don't stop loving. They continued as the master opened the door, slowly shuffling out of his bedroom and down the hallway. The room that belonged to Auburn was opened, and Yang saw them inside. Paper was on the walls, drawings on it. She believed that they were things that existed as they moved in further. Around a large table that was literally covered with drawing tools and paintbrushes, a set of paintings hung on the walls. She let her gaze slide over them. They were realistic, lifelike, almost. A painting of a single cross planted within a space she recognized as the main square in front of the former royal palace of Vale. A naked man in his late 30s hung there. Holy shit! Nails driven through his hands to pin them there and through his feet. His chest cavity had been opened up and the heart had been torn out brutally, leaving only the organs there to show. The groin mutilated to a mess of blood and flesh, the mouth stuffed with them and sewn shut with crude thread. The bodies of women and 2 children of around the age of 5 and 6 were dumped below in a heap, their faces destroyed by something that had hit them heavily. A sign,
No shit!
a sign written in blood. A king who turns against his loyal subjects is a king of nothing, planted below the cross in the soil. I mean, is it wrong though?
Wow, this is trying so fucking hard. Like,
It is trying real fucking hard. Her gaze turned to look at the other paintings, a crypt's interior in which the coffin was being lowered into one of the graves, a tall man standing a ways away, the woman who was his wife, if she guessed right from the way she wore her dress, and a fauna standing at the gravesite. 2 blonde young men were lowering the coffin, one of them only 15 in appearance, whilst the other was nearly 17. She could see the similarity of the features of the older man and the 2 blonde young men, linking them as family. Similar features to the man she called Master, the one who was now the focus of her life. The young man looked similar in age to the Master. A woman who was a little older than them, standing at the gravesite, wearing the funeral black.
Alright, I must ask, do these figures literally have their ages written down under them? Because these are oddly specific.
I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know.
6 or 8. There's not that much of a difference.
He's a fucking funniest. I don't fucking know.
Can I just continue, please?
Yeah, sorry.
Did you paint these, Auburn? Her master asked, and there was a surprise in his voice as they had halted. He was looking at something, a painting that hung on the wall, pale skin and veins that crisscrossed the eyes, with deadly red in the irises and black like the night in the whites, staring at whoever looked at her from a throne forged from purple crystal. The dress she wore was made from an inky blackness, fitting the body well. A soft whimper as she saw the eyes nearly follow her. A small tag below it said, "The goddess who loved too much," and the woman's cold expression seemed to chill her.
Sometimes. Cammy doesn't like to come here. The others are not allowed. Nobody's allowed to see, but you are now. Cammy doesn't like to paint with me, but she looks at what I paint.
Her master made a soft sound in his throat about that, his expression changing to one of concern as they helped his sister into her bed. Auburn laid there looking at her brother and smiling.
I love you, little brother. Can you fetch me some water? I'm a little thirsty.
He could have told her to get it. It didn't seem to occur to him, a smile on his lips. I'll be right back, Auburn. Her master was a little afraid of his sister, but Yang only felt pity. There was so much that she could say, but no words could emerge from her lips.
He's the one you've been waiting for all your life, Yang. You said it yourself. Trust Isaac. Trust 17.
The words were spoken softly as the woman's head turned. Yang looked in the direction, coming to rest on an empty canvas. Remember, Yang. Wait. Remember, Yang. Never forget who you are and what you are. The kitten. Wait. No, that's from her. It couldn't tell because it was italicized at first. Remember, Yang. Never forget who you are and what you are. The kitten will serve and love as much as you will, or she'll not and she'll die. Forgotten as a traitor, that is a thing too, but I hope she won't. She would love him once she is free of the Alks. He had a bad... He was a bad one. Shut up! He was a bad one. His sister was the birthright, but he took it when he sold her away. She was his sister, but he sold her because she did not serve the cows. Yang looked at the woman as the tired look slipped from her features and energy seemed to inject itself in her. The master entering with a glass of water. It was a softness of her features that drew her in, and Yang wondered whether the master would allow her to touch him. Comfort as she would give him because he was distraught. Thank you, John. I'll be back before the ball. Junie will be back after surgery tomorrow. Sleep well, okay? Her master tried to go for a smile, but he didn't seem capable of it. His expression heavy as his sister gave a soft giggle. He kissed her cheek and then motioned for her to follow him, his expression looking darker as he saw a painting. His family standing proudly. Camellia in her uniform, Saffron in a light orange dress, the twins wearing their custom tailored dresses with different accents, Argent in a simple utilitarian outfit, looking like she was absent of mind, Juniper standing proudly with her weapon at the ready, and Auburn seated together with Jean. Her master's face showed a smile, but the title made her feel a sadness. My family. She did not see the mother or the father anywhere. Her master did not comment on it, but he looked sad, opening the door for her and letting her pass through, a gesture of respect for a lady of similar standing, not for a slave. She leaned against him, holding on to his arm. The master wasn't allowed to be sad, and nobody would be able to tell her not to make him happier. Master! Right, Master? A soft whisper in her master's ear as Yang felt the closest of his body. Let's go to bed, Yang. Please. He didn't command her, but she held on, kissing his cheek softly. It was a kiss to comfort, and he grimaced. The door to his bedroom was opened, and Yang marveled at how quick Tara had managed to change the sheets. It should be quickly. The blood already gone from the floor, the carpet cleaned in a flash. Master Jean. Master Jean. He shed his clothing and walked to the bed, opening it up and getting in without a word. She walked into the bathroom to wash her hair, to get the blood out. Her wound had already healed up, thanks to her aura, which had recovered already. She got into the bed as well, noticing how Tara took to his other side. No words were necessary, but there was something in the canine faunus's eyes. No matter what, I will protect you. Okay, Courier, it's your turn.
Alright, before you do, I just want to ask, sorry for interrupting earlier, by the way, Kitty.
So good.
Do you guys remember the whole plot point about if... Blake, that's her fucking face. She was supposed to be the original girl after all. Remember when the big plot point about her, acting out of line would get everyone, like all the faunus in fucking Vale killed, but now it's all Gucci because it's only her that's gonna die?
Well, they found a replacement.
Like, they were willing to use her as a fucking example of killing everyone, and they were killing slaves because or punishing them at least. I don't remember if they actually killed them. Oh, they were killing them?
It was Auburn, remember, who was like snapping necks and shit in front of her.
Yeah. That was it. But now it's like, oh yeah, this it's only her that's gonna suffer. Don't worry, Yang. It's just, what's the point of that plot point?
There was no point.
It's what I mean with this fanfic tries so fucking hard to be taken seriously with his fucking dramatic child killing.
Also, while check lounge VC, you can see my face right now.
I'll do it in a sec. But fucking hell.
It's
Have
so hard to be taken seriously, and it fucking fails at every turn. It's almost impressive.
You don't need to tell me that the children's faces were... Like, their faces were burst in from something heavy. Just tell me their faces are burst in if you want to go there.
Literally, just say, yeah, their fucking heads were caved in.
No, they were caved in with a feather.
Oh, totally, 100%. My brain would obviously go right to that instead of like a sledgehammer or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's fucking just, it's common sense, right? It's also common sense that you need to repeat the same fucking sentence plot
3 times.
4.2 trillion times. I mean, what am I now?
Why, are you some kind of fucking weirdo that can actually remember when you're told something? Well, who are you? Who are you?
How do you remember things for more than a sentence? Insanity.
Maybe Cyanide Sense is secretly a goldfish. He doesn't have the attention or the memory of more than 4 seconds.
Oh, come on, don't insult goldfish, man.
Yeah, you're true. Fair enough. Sorry. Any goldfish out there who are watching this, well, first of all, fuck you, because you won't remember it, but also, I'm sorry.
Fuck you, because you won't remember me insulting you, but sorry.
No.
At least my goldfish never started talking about how much rape is great, but how rape is bad, but how rape is amazing.
Look, lol, don't you enjoy rape? I know I do.
We'll get into the rape in just a second, if you know what I'm saying. Don't worry.
Guys.
Oh, it's a good thing I handed this over to you then.
I mean, Kira, you love rape, so you're gonna love this.
It's
only if it's being done towards you, lol. Okay.
What? You don't enjoy your most lovely and enjoyable favorite of subjects? What are you? Gay?
Yeah. What are you? Racist or something?
What the fuck? You don't like rape? Racist?
Okay.
Oh,
John opened the door, watching the faunus on the horse whimper as another etiquette lesson was recited. He could see that Blake was struggling to adjust, an animal that hadn't been broken properly yet. The girl was resisting. A shame. That's John, Ash said reverently, though it was more the formalities that she had drilled into their heads since a young age that prompted such a title. His sisters looking at him, neither really responded to him as he looked at the faunus who had been resting there. Blake? He didn't raise his voice, but her head lifted. Feline eyes looked at him, and he could see the resistance within them, the fire and the flame of rebellion. He had thought about selling her off, but it would be better if she was re-educated, which will take 40 chapters. Can you leave the two of us alone for a moment? He wanted to talk to her. Ash looked at him, and he saw her shake her head. She wouldn't allow it, but he was sure that he was safe. They did not make mistakes. It may be best to have a small break. Ash capitulated after he had sat down in the chair, looking at Blake. He was still the only son of the household. Come, let's get a drink. We'll be back in 5 minutes, John. 5 minutes would be all that was needed. He knew enough, and he knew Blake. You know her, because he'd known her for a week. They left, and he was alone. Actually, she has the personality of a fucking plank of wood, so he probably does know her. Is it really worth it, Blake? It was not a useless question to ask, her eyes fixing him with a look that did not stop accusing him. He did not look away. She was the animal. Even Yang was civilized. You took our freedom away. You and your degenerate sister raped me. It really wasn't rape. She was just a faunus after all. It didn't make sense that she'd have rights. Yang was different. He could never rape Yang. He just didn't think he could deny her anything if she asked, which she did not. And incomprehension in her eyes as she hissed at him, something of a feral sound, a pitiful animal sound he recognized. She was such a stupid girl. Even Yang was smarter than she was. Blake was just an animal, a faunus that didn't understand.
Even Yang was smarter. Does this guy like her or not?
No, I don't fucking know. You took away our freedom. You and your degenerate sister raped me. And... Jesus fucking Christ. Saffron at least let you live as a favor to me. Your kind is not well liked in this household. You should be grateful for the chances I am giving you. She snarled something in a low register, an animalistic sound. Oh, it was such a pity that she couldn't be like Yang. I was never given a chance because all you do is punish me. John's fingers drummed onto the seat's armrests, his eyes looking at her. He didn't like to punish his pet. Blake was still the girl that he had lost the faunus that he had lost his virginity to. It was good to have some experience, or so his mother had said. Father had been virginal, or apparently so the tale went. Okay, cool, thanks, John. Yang understands, Blake. She has been nothing but good to her master. Instead of you, who only seems to find fault. You're a faunus. Life isn't going to get better for you. Yang accepts it, and I had a very pleasant night with her. There was a fit of anger in the girl's golden eyes as her ears flattened against her scalp, and she hissed, just like a wild cat would. There was no other choice, he saw. Blake's eyes held fury and anger. So you would rather choose a herbivore as your personal cockholster arc? Am I not good enough? Why would you lower yourself to a mere whore when you could have the panther's air wrapped around your big human cock, huh?
What the fuck?
So now she's jealous all of a sudden. Okay.
Oh my lord. Oh my lord.
Aggression, a hint of something in those eyes, jealousy, the realization as she heard herself say that. She was really not very good with behaving. What does this panther have, Blake? You are a very pretty faunus, yes, but Yang is still prettier. She hissed at him again, and he got up from his seat, walking to her. His eyes looked her dead in the eyes. You could just say he looked her dead in the eyes. His eyes looked her dead in the eyes.
There are so many small changes you can make. Just let's not even bother. We know that it is bad.
A look in her golden eyes of uncertainty. He caressed her cheek, stroking up to her ear, looking into her eyes. You're just a slave, Blake. If my big human cock takes you, you're expected to love it. You're not even fit to be able to bear me new slaves, Blake. A shiver as she looked at him, fear flashed in those eyes as he leaned closer. He could hear a door opening up, staring in those eyes. What? Okay. I could ask Camilla to break you. Do you want to know how I broke you in one of my visions? Oh, I enjoyed watching you. A whole stable, all for one haughty faunus to enjoy, Blake Belladonna.
Ooh.
He looked at his side, one of his twin sisters standing there, looking at him with approval in his eyes. In his eyes? I think you mean her eyes. A strong hand was appreciated, even though he felt nothing but that faint disapproval. Faint disapproval from who? You just said
who, from who?
This whole sentence. So, first of all, she's looking at him, or a faint look of approval in his eyes. I think you mean her eyes. And then secondly, he just said that his sister looked at him with approval. Secondly, a strong hand was appreciated, even though he felt nothing but that faint disapproval. Disapproval from
Blade? Why would he care if he's an animal?
Why would he care? Yeah. But that would just feed your flames, Blake. Every time a human does something to the little faunus queen, she starts to grow rebellious. You are left without a purpose in life, Blake. Once your gelded ox lover is executed, where would you even go? It hit the faunus hard, as if it really seemed to believe the words. He didn't like the way that he was acting, but it was what was desired. If the slave would not obey through a soft treatment, it would be through the hard one, like my cock. Mr. Jean, if you wish. Ash was trying to say something, but he forestalled her. It was his fate to be above the faunus, she had explained to him herself. It was his destiny, and this little faunus, cute and sexy as she might be, was not going to be bowing her head before him. Don't interfere, Ash. I am not yet done. His eyes locked with hers, and he smiled. Ash had said that he should be direct. Ash told me that when I was younger, there would be a loving wife waiting for me, Blake. That I would have faunus servants who cared for me. Someone who would be my right hand in this world. Ash, make her speak. The glow of the semblance in Blake's mouth opened, but no sound came forth. She was waiting for his question, for the words he would speak, her eyes looking into his own with fear, doubt, and something more. Ash was waiting for him to speak, her gnarled hand holding Blake by the scruff of her neck. Would you care for me if I was to improve the conditions of the faunus? It was a dangerous question, something that was only theorized by daring philosophers. Faunus were slaves because they had lost the scars of the revolution still remaining in today's world. They were treated as commodities, as furniture. Yes, she admitted it, looking gasped for the thought. She looked like she was going through a crisis, Ash's eyes looking at him sternly. And if I took more slaves, would you be willing to share your master with them? Her expression darkened. She seemed to bubble and boil. She seemed to bubble and boil with something as she spoke, her canines looking like an animal's for some reason as she spoke, her tone vicious. No, they are not of the proper pedigree. You deserve only me. Fear in her eyes as she realized what she had said. He smiled. So it was jealousy. He'd heard of some of the animals getting into fights about something like this. Ash's hand wrapped Blake's head. Blake hissed in pain as Ash seemed not to have kept her strength in check. Ash was always a stickler for protocol. The master deserves as many slaves as he wishes. You have no right to impugn on his desires, even if you are merely the toy he uses to wipe his bottom. There was an anger in her voice, and Blake immediately quieted. Silent now, she looked at him and his fingers hair. Now, there's no need to go that far, Ash. Blake can be a good pet, just like Yang. Blake gave a soft whimper as she was compared with his wonderful little Yang. It was nice to see her whimper, because he could feel his heartbeat speeding up. Her eyes locked with his as she gasped. Her lips pressed against his, and he tasted something like a dark chocolate flavor mixed with something that was like spice. The Faunus's lips pressing against his as she looked at him. I don't know. Why does her lips taste like chocolate, dark chocolate, and spice? I don't fucking know.
Is she black? No? Then why does this... How does this make sense?
She was just a whore. Nobody will make you feel as good as I am. I hold the pedigree. He really didn't know what that meant. He looked at Ash for a moment, who shook her head softly, a sign of her wariness with Blake's attitude. His gaze turned to the feline Faunus again. So do I. We're nobles, don't you know? My price is worth a quarter of Vale, if properly negotiated. You are lucky to be in my service, Blake. If you had been in another's... He knew what would happen to her. Uppity slaves were not spared. She would just be repurposed to become a breeder. He knew that some of the slaves that weren't fit for the type of service had to be creating the next generation. It wasn't a huge income, of course.
Is that exactly what you're gonna have her do? Is become the mother to the next generation of slaves?
I'm more getting confused with this next sentence. It wasn't a huge income, of course, but the price of a slave wasn't something to sneeze at, if pretty enough. The way he's sounding that makes it sound like she's not getting a huge income from being used as a breeder. It makes it sound like she's not getting it, not him. Okay, fuck it, whatever.
I understand what he means, but it's retarded, like most of this.
Who cares about your pedigree? There are only the tiger and the ox's sister who are purer than me. The aberration speaks of more slaves, but who would serve a filthy rapist with filth in his blood except for more of those only fit to be torn to shreds? You should be blessed to even have me. I am the daughter of the panther.
She's fucking arguing. She's worth the fucking effort. Oh, glorious.
Oh, girl, you fucking wish you're worth that effort.
You're not in the position to make demands, Blake.
Blake turned very silent as Ash gripped her neck, a cowed look on Blake's face as Ash kept a very firm grip. I do care about his pedigree, slave. Do not speak to the master as if he does not have a point, Belladonna. Comparing yourself with your master, the height of folly. You speak, but you are ignorant. This will be rectified, Master Jean. He looked at his old nursemaid and sighed. His eyes went to gaze into Blake's and he felt bad for her for a moment. She was so misguided. Didn't she see that there was no difference between Faunus? They were Faunus, they all bore their own traits, and they were all enslaved. You would fetch 10,000 lien at the most, Blake. You're pretty. That's your only saving grace. I'm going to the auction tomorrow. I'll see whether I can find a replacement for you. You're nothing but a pet, Blake. I'm growing tired of you. You're not even good at sex. What value do you have aside from being a groomed cat that merely looks pretty? Damn! Damn, Sonny. He patted her cheek, looking into the Faunus's eyes. It was regrettable to put it like that, and it didn't feel very proper, but he was not going to let some Faunus girl say that she was better in pedigree than him, not with how much he was worth. She looked at him, angrily and upset. I wouldn't even breed you. You apparently don't have sisters or brothers, so I guess your line ends with you. I'll have children, Blake. Many, if mother and father are an indication. They'll all inherit something, and if luck favors me, they will be as skilled as my sisters. The widened eyes and the surprise made him realize that he'd said something to her that rattled her, Ash inhaling deeply. He guessed that, with as much as she placed importance on her pedigree, that there was something Faunus valued much the same about their line of succession. And you know what, Blake? You wouldn't even get a chance to speak your horrible lies in another household. Faunus should be seen, not heard. You are arrogant to even imply that I could wish to put a child in you, because I really do think you are pretty, but not as pretty as your better fellow pet. It was the truth, Blake agitated. She never backed down from her words. She was unbending and unbroken, and it made him want to make her submit. Yang did not resist him, but she was someone who supplied an opinion if she thought he needed it. She was like Ash, a good woman, a damn shame that she was born a Faunus. He would have cast his whole inheritance away for a chance to marry her. That click, that feeling inside him when she was with him. He smiled, unbidden by his words. He looked into Blake's eyes, hearing her say something but not quite hearing her words. Yang was a good Faunus, and she would be with him, he knew. His hand traced through Blake's hair, jerking her head back and looking into her eyes. She quietened, and he looked at Ash. Ash is better than you, Blake. Much better than you. She should be an inspiration, a guiding light for you, because... He almost spoke of her secret, but stopped. Blake would tell. The little creature of Faunus rights would tell the whole world, and Ash would be executed, if the family knew. That couldn't happen. He wouldn't let that happen. She knows the rules. You should be fucking capitalize that. That's a basic grammatical error, Jesus Christ. Tell me.
She knows the rules.
She knows the rules.
Do I.
And so do I.
Tell me, would your mother have appreciated you spitting in the face of someone who wishes you to do well? To fit in? The semblance activated, and Blake's eyes looked helpless as she spoke up. She told me to be kind to humans, because they could be kind in return. She said that hate should not be repaid with hate. She was wrong, because humanity keeps us down. We should be free, the ox said. He sighed, and he knew that it would probably be futile, but he peered into those eyes for a while. He could feel the faint compulsion to tell the truth, but it was not him that the question was asked to as he gazed in her eyes. I feel on some level responsible for you. You're my first Faunus, and you really are pretty when you smile. You should be more like your mother. Ash always said that there is a balance for every action. He looked into her eyes, and there was something in them. It was almost human. Almost. It was obvious that she was just an animal. She wasn't like Yang, who felt human, no matter her Faunus status. When he was with her, it was like being with a girl his own age. She sold herself to the humans with my father. Coexistence, they said, was better than extermination. We fought the good fight for them, too. Why did he not want me? I would have given him hairs. He didn't know who this he was, but he could make a guess. He let go of her, and tears leaked from her eyes in frustration. Master Jean, that is enough. Allow her a moment of rest. She seems to have been kept ignorant of the significance of things. He sighed, knowing that there were plenty of things that Blake was ignorant about. He had caught the brief look on Ash's face, telling him that disposing of Blake might not be wise. Ash knew better than he did about most things, probably due to having been around for more than an age. Make sure that she doesn't say such horrible things anymore, and I'll consider using her. She'd be dead if Ruby heard about what she's saying. It's lucky for her that she shuts up when she's around members of a family that won't care whether she lives or dies. Seriously. If Father heard her speak like that, well, he does later on, and all he does is spank her after she tries to murder his son. Anyway, his sister, whose presence he had nearly forgotten in the room, spoke up. He would have flogged her with an electric whip at the least. We are proud of the family, and a fawn is casting shame on us. She thinks Saffron is a depraved homosexual. Bah. A shake of the head from his sister, who patted Blake's body. Blake twitched, her eyes tearing up. His sister looked at her with disgust in her eyes. Homosexuals hurt babies, Blake. Saffron would never do such a thing.
I mean, based.
Homosexuals hurt babies, Blake. Saffron would never do such a thing.
Homosexuals are babies. Christ, cyanide.
Hold on. I gotta.
just ignoring.
Hey, shut the fuck up. I gotta keep going with this sentence, okay? Homosexuals hurt babies, Blake. Saffron would never do such a thing. Homosexuals are vile, evil creatures who thirst for their own gender. My sister is loving and kind. Don't put your disgusting thoughts about my sister into the world, Faunus. Your degenerate lust for my family fills me with disgust. Okay, now you can talk.
Just ignoring the fact that, basically she just rapes all of our female Faunus slaves, like, almost constantly. Like, just ignoring that fact. I mean, you must be one dense motherfucker to not realize that. Which, given the fact that all the characters this dude's fucking denser than the fucking core of a neutron star.
He's denser than the gravitational singularity at the heart of a black hole. That has infinite
Exactly.
density. He's denser than infinity, and that's beautiful.
Yeah.
He loved his sisters. Degenerate homosexuals were not found among his sisters. Saffron liked to play with Faunus and enjoy them. It wasn't wrong. Tara was always there with her. Tara was a good Faunus. I'll go back to Auburn. We had to carry her to her room. She came and started to talk after what happened to Juniper. Ash's face looked tense as she frowned. He knew that nobody really was allowed into Auburn's room on her own insistence. It had been one of the first times that he'd entered Auburn's room, and the paintings were disturbing. I will have to have some tea sent to her. Who the fuck is saying that? Who the fuck is saying that?
Who said that?
Who said that? Which one of you motherfuckers said that? I'm guessing that's Ash. I'm guessing that's Ash. Okay.
It would have to be Ash.
It would have to be. I fucking can't tell. I will have some tea sent to her. Poor dear must be feeling worried for her sister. He knew that Yang was there. That was important. The picture of my sisters and me. Auburn had a gift for vivid imagery, he could tell. The look on his sisters' faces had been lifelike, but there was something that hinted beyond it. Auburn's eyes in the family portrait had been so wonderful, so vivid and beautiful, begging him to look at it, but he could not, for some reason. He left his sister's room feeling conflicted. Are you talking about... Stop speaking in the past tense, motherfucker. God damn it. When you say he left his sister's room feeling conflicted, you are now saying it from John's point of view. So, did he just leave his sister's room? Ah, fuck it. It wasn't. Yang's hand grabbed his own and she nudged... Oh, okay, I guess he...
Yes, Yang is there for some reason now.
Okay, no.
She
No, hold on.
teleported Jutsu into the scene.
He literally teleported. Okay, so the last we hear of him, he's still in the torture room with Ash, right? And he says, I'll go back to Auburn or whatever. I have to go talk to her. Then we see a reaction shot from Ash. Then we have him talking about the painting. And then all of a sudden, he's leaving his sister's room. There is no transition. He fucking says, I'm going to go see her. We have Ash's reaction. And then all of a sudden, he's talking about leaving his sister's room. There is no transition in between there. What the fuck? Holy shit.
Transitions are for, no comment.
Are you saying this shouldn't have a transition, Kitty? Are you saying it's okay to just fucking do this?
No, I'm making a joke.
Okay.
Calm down, Korea. Calm
Nice
down.
boy.
Deep breaths. Okay.
How fucking long do we got until this is done?
We're almost done.
Thank God.
Your sister, Yang's hand grabbed his own and she nudged against him. She was safe. She was secure. He could let his guard down around her because he knew for some reason that she would not harm him. What were you using for Yang's voice, Kitty?
German accent, yeah.
More German than fucking Blake, okay.
Yeah. Sundberg is a Swede.
Your sister loves you a lot, master. It was a simple sentence, but it was enough. Love. Auburn was scary. She didn't respond like she should. She made odd comments and did things he didn't like to see. She was still his sister, though. I wish she'd be... normal. Auburn wasn't normal, and he knew that it was luck of her birth that she was only sent away once every while for a month or 3. Master, please. A softness in his pet's voice as she kissed him. It was a breach of protocol, but he didn't mind it. He could always say that it had been his instructions as he looked into her eyes. You shouldn't talk badly about your sister. She loves you. Her voice was light, her eyes tender. She was right, after all. Auburn, no matter what she did, was still his sister. She was still his sister, no matter how much she scared him. He remembered the paintings, the look on Auburn's face as she beheld him. I know. He felt bad for thinking about Auburn like she was wrong. She was his sister, and while she didn't do things in the normal way, she was still family. Just as Yang was, because he couldn't think of her as anything anything less. Yang's eyes lit up and she smiled. Us goes to bed, master. I wish that you are rested. Mistress Juniper will be cared for. She seemed convinced, and he knew that she would receive the best medical care that Vale could give. The healing semblances that were scouted specifically for the medical field were top quality after all. Oh, but force healing, of course. Yang got into bed after she washed her face, and he felt Tara join him before, the canine focus hugging him from behind. With Saffron passed out by some sleeping aids, she'd undoubtedly wouldn't like to sleep alone. It was comfortable in a fashion. His head rested between Yang's generous chest, and he was out like a light a moment later, remaining within her embrace. Okay, your turn, Kitty.
Oh, we aren't done yet?
No, we're not done
there's
yet.
one more bit. Fuck my life, it's long too.
Oh, Christ.
Christ on a bike sucking his own cock.
Oh, Christ, just Christ. Jesus, oh Christ, please, leave this place. There's nothing for you here. Get out whilst you still can.
Please, God, just
Right.
rescue me from this.
Guys, we have reached the point where Kitty is now using my shitty jokes. We have truly fallen from grace.
He slept with an ear open for sound.
I'm gonna go make a
not
glass of
willing to
chocolate
let
milk. I'll
go
be
of
back.
the
Keep reading, Kitty. I
master.
don't care.
Okay, she's sleeping with an ear open. She says, "I love you."
Oh, this is the rape scene.
More shit about how she shouldn't be thinking about that. Saw the second eldest sister enter, her facial features tired and weary, moving to the bed. She stirred, looking at the woman. If there was ill to him, she would not allow it. The woman looked at her and then nodded, taking a seat on
The woman.
Which fucking one? Taking a seat on the chair that had been put upright again. It was the changing of the guard, she supposed, or perhaps a small hint of things yet to come. The creak of the door, and she became aware of the odd crocodile entering once more, the second eldest sister looking as the crocodile shook her head, motioning for the sister to go away, taking her spot. What that had been about, she didn't know, but... Get up. I know you're awake, dear. The voice was not kind, nor was it warm. She slowly disentangled herself from the master, looking down at that sleeping face, leaning down to place a soft kiss on his cheek. He smiled in his sleep. Her fingers ran through his hair, and she got up. As a blessing, you are to accompany your owner through the city. Lady Azalea insists on it, beyond my meager understanding. The woman looked ill-pleased with the thought, and Yang felt unease go through her as the woman reached out, the glow of her aura flashing as she felt herself be compelled to speak, her own aura not interfering. Vilio safeguards him, master, should something happen. Her throat seized, and she felt the pain as she kept her mouth shut. She resisted, and her eyes looked into the aged woman's eyes. I will protect him until my death. He will not feel anyone harm him, or I shall perish with him.
Alright.
The woman's expression was cold, distaste and disgust in the woman's eyes. The hand that touched her was gnarled and twisted as the collar was seized, and Yang looked down at the woman, unbent and unbroken. Do not claim what is never yours to claim, vegetarian. You may hold his favor for now, but you will be replaced, Faunus. He will not need an impure herbivore when he could have the beauty of someone with the rearings that can be provided. There was flame in those eyes. Isn't the ox an herbivore too?
Shut up.
If he discards me, so be it. If he takes 100 Faunus women as his pets, so shall it be. The woman looked at her. She looks at Yang. He is better than you. Even Black Belladonna is barely suited for him. A simple no-name Yang is not what he would need. You do well to remember your place, dear. The woman, what's her name, is fucking unhappy. My place is where my master is, and my duty is what he tells me to. To what? Yang doesn't want to bow, and more bullshit. As long as you remember that, dear. God save you if you think you can actually take him as your mate. That is not allowed. Faunus are slaves. Do not think of yourself as raised above your station, dear. You are at most a toy for his whims, a favored animal. Bitter words. It was likely that this woman had retreading same shit from before. I am who I am, and what he dictates me to be. She spoke without reservation. Yeah, fuck, I don't need to be told that. As the woman looked at her, there was no physical aggression, but the woman merely looked disdainful, as if the answer had been wrong. Young's eyes caught the sharpening of her gaze. An answer that does not fit. Proudly claim herself. They don't approve. Vestiges.
She doesn't care what other people think of her as long as she fucking is with her master. Fucking, she's fine. Anybody who lays her hand upon her master, whether it be other people or aberrations, would not survive because she'd fucking strike them down. Going on about aberrations, the faunus infanticide bullshit, eugenics.
Casually throwing eugenics. Alright, yeah, this is cyanide.
Casual bullshit everywhere. It
Ash,
is nothing but the finest of the line. It was a fact her man would not be consorting with lesser faunus. Her godmother was a woman who held power in this world and was to be her master's wife in the future. She approved of his choice, even if the woman's daughter was against her. Lady Summer Rose. Lady Summer Rose has offered to allow me into her service if I should wish it. Why she said that she didn't know, but the hand left her shoulder, the woman looking at her and giving a light sniff. Unsuitable for someone of her status, but as a first slave, more than acceptable. You might make a fine maidservant with more education. The woman sighed, seemingly more at ease. She did not want to serve Lady Rose. She knew where her heart lay. Lady Summer was her godmother, but she knew that Master Jean was the one for her. Lady Auburn had said it. No matter what the crocodile said, she would not let that stop her. The master is mine, and mine alone. In the morning she awakens, looks at Jean, squeezing of tits or ass or something, kissing.
Oh my god, read this, no, read this sentence. Read this sentence saying it was natural. Read that fucking sentence.
It was natural to kiss the one you surrendered to on the lips, a sign of affection. No, it isn't, actually.
No, I'm saying kiss the one you surrendered to on the lips. That's the same thing.
Excuse me?
That's the same thing.
You can kiss somebody on the hand or whatever. I don't mind the qualifier, it's just very poorly written.
Oh my god, Kitty, okay.
Remember
when most people think of a kiss, is their first thought going to go, especially in the circumstances that we know the story to be set in, are we going to be thinking of fucking John kissing her on...
Yes, but you also have the qualifier of the fucking surrendered to. Remember, this faggot's thinking about court politics and shit.
I just find it creepy. Honestly.
It's weird. Ash came by earlier saying she had preferred an escort. Oh god, is this the horse rape?
No.
Alright, we haven't gotten to the horse rape yet.
We're not there yet. Next chapter is the fucking slave auction, so...
The dog ponies look unruffled, standing at the corner of the room, her outfit pristine as she wore it. Yang wondered if the conversation of last night had been just a dream. She looked at her master, aware that there was a softness in his features, his smile as warm as it was. My god, if you just went from John's perspective with this, and skipped all the bullshit, you would have the length, and have a way, way more interesting scene.
Everything's just way too long.
It's way too long, and it's fucking boring. And does the master need his yang to stimulate him to get him out of bed? A quick touch? Shut up, you fucking whore. Her hands groped his groin, his breathing quickening a bit as he responded to the touch. Lazily, she let that hardened shaft press against her palm, pushing up a little and letting her nails... Oh, God. They jerk.
Is this not stimulating?
John is ashamed of getting hard while his sister is injured. Sorry, Master Faunus did not think, like a worthless slave she is. Shake of his head. You're not worthless to me, Yang. I'm gonna keep you around no matter what. Tara talking.
When did she enter the scene?
She was in there from the start. I just skipped it.
Alright.
Yang's pussy is aching for him. Ash wants... I'm not even kidding.
Her pussy is getting progress for him.
Ash wants to attend the auction with them. Jean groans with his erect penis in front of Tara. Okay. He gets dressed. Takes a shower before getting dressed after he tells Yang to get him new clothes. So he puts them on, takes them off. Okay, whatever. Master deserves beauty. Wash yourself quickly. Sometimes beauty has to be forced. Whatever. Move on. Next scene. I'm trying to get this over with. We're almost done. We're almost fucking done. They take the Rem and Ash with them. And then number 17.
The tag on him or whatever is number 17 on the Ram guy. So Auburn told her to trust 17. His name might be Isaac guy, or she's like walks into his room or his stall or whatever. A guy tells her to shut the door behind her. She's like, "Oh, hey, we're the escorts, right?" Trying to put him at ease, and then the guy like fucking levels his weapon at her and says, "I know, dear girl, the others cannot see beyond the horns atop your head. They cannot see beyond their conceptions. You are no dear. What are you? Why have you entered the home of the desecrator's family?" Fucking telling her to not be a fucking dirty, filthy liar. Tells her that he's an ibex or whatever, some type of aberration thing or whatever the faunists don't like. He's like, "I'm the last. There will be none after me. My line ends with me. Like Lady Ash, I am blah blah blah." Then he finally pulls his sword down at her and looks into he looks into her eyes and asks, "The last, what are you?" And then the chapter ends.
Hey, Kitty, what do you think of that chapter?
Fucking boring. This quote, this chapter took a long while to write. No fucking shit, it's almost 20,000 words. You wrote a novella.
18,037, 307? It was one of those two
It's
things.
a goddamn novella.
I don't think mine.
It's also just fucking creepy to me why they always keep mentioning, "Oh, my line ends with me" and stuff. It's like the whole fucking overall thing of them, like fucking and breeding and shit. It's just creepy to me after a while. I'm just like, I can't even zone it out to where it becomes white noise.
It's culture clash, Cap. We don't think
I know,
about
but
it
it's just
now,
it's
but
just
that's
fucking
how
creepy.
people thought about things, especially nobility thought about things like 400 or 500 fucking years ago.
I was gonna say, they also have to think about other fucking things, though. I mean, seriously, come on. Think about something different. Anything. Think about what your favorite fucking sport is.
Work, sports, culture, literally anything but fucking.
Jesus.
My god.
Can I read this shitty author note,
Yes.
please? Well, this chapter took a while to write. Hitting the right tone with some of the more emotional stuff is always an issue for me. Auburn arc segments especially because she is so broken as an individual is a tough thing. Next chapter we'll see a familiar face. And to Jack the Spades, no offense was taken. I enjoy the criticism. No, you don't. It's good to see that people are going like, this guy doesn't have English as a basic language, so here's some criticism. I know that I'm not super duper with some of the conventions and such that I probably write in this really awkward, wonky style, but I hope that the story keeps on being entertaining. I don't know if I'm all that amazing either. I sometimes worry that because the stuff I write is so dark, I just get the whole feeling of being some sort of super evil doom and gloom type of person. No fucking shit. To Gorgas, the Nightshade is coming. No, it doesn't! It's just pretty hard to break Blake down. She's a very stubborn girl, and John hit on some of her key traits. She, however, does see him as attractive, no matter how she frames it. The majority of her problems come from her fire for the revolution, for the freeing of every faunist in the world. A goal that would be very hard to For the greater good.
For the greater good.
For the greater good, brother.
For the
A
greater
goal
good.
that would be very hard to achieve on our own. Not every relationship immediately starts out with a yearning for each other and subtle looks and stuff. What about Yang and John? What about Yang and John?
Exactly what fucking happened.
Not every relationship immediately starts out with a yearning for each other and subtle looks and stuff. Looks immediately 2 feet over to John and Yang. Sure, whatever you say there, motherfucker. It's been a week. It took Blake a few...
Even though humans are considered, like, superior in this fucking universe, apparently, I couldn't live in this universe. I would rather eat a gun than fucking exist in this universe.
And here's him not understanding the basics of Ruby. After it's been a week. It took Blake a few months in Volume 1 before she came out about being a faunus in her crusade against the White Fang. What fucking crusade was she leaning against the White Fang in Volume 1? She was running
arguing in favor of them.
I was gonna say she was arguing in favor of them and also running away from them at the same time for some fucking reason.
Maybe they're just tired of being pushed around.
Yeah, no, maybe we're just tired of being pushed around. Oh heavens me, sorry. Oh god, I'm so sorry. She's a pretty stubborn individual, and John is pretty stubborn as well. Give it some time. If Blake just submitted and was like, oh, my sweet and gentle master, the story wouldn't be as interesting. No, it's still not interesting.
Not interesting either way.
Thanks for the criticism on my prose. I'll try to switch things up, but I cannot make any solid promises. Okay, you know where the Nightshade goes? Oh, I'll tell you guys where it goes. So fucking he buys fucking Blake's parents or whatever. They fuck around and do nothing with that. Her dad's a fucking weirdo. Her mom is also a fucking weirdo. They do nothing. They sit around for 20 chapters. Blake continues to get the shit beaten out of her. Then 20 or so chapters later or whatever, John fucks her again, at which point she has so many orgasms and convulses so much that it looks like she's having a fucking grand mal seizure and John has to stop halfway through it. And then she's not fucking mentioned again for a couple more chapters until her fucking dad fucking kills his sister, then orders Blake to kill him, which she fucking does. She stabs him multiple times in the throat trying to fucking tear his goddamn, like, decapitate him with a fucking shiv or whatever. She gets her arm cut off by Raven, who saves John. Then she's not mentioned for another 20 chapters. Then she magically appears and is seemingly okay with the idea of serving him again. That's where Nightshade goes in this story. That's where it goes. So to Gorgas, fuck you. It's not going anywhere. It's not coming, okay? It's not coming, you shitty little motherfucker. If you want to go read a Nightshade fanfic, go read fucking something else. If you just want porn, there's better porn out there, okay, Jimmy?
Can you say false advertisements?
No.
I shit you not, though. That's literally a plot point. The next time John fucks her or whatever, she's like convulses so much that they fucking have to stop because he's concerned